Okay, how's everyone doing today? Anyone who's watching or is going to watch. It's a little late in the afternoon. I had a long night last night. I was up until probably around 6:30 in the morning, so I didn't get up until later in the day. Had to do a couple things before I got on. And now here I am going on my other character. I know I've been playing on Hate Mail for a little bit. Now I'm going back on to Brianna. Today, before anything, let's do our little bit of gathering that we need to do. Actually, before anything else, I need to go farm some. Absolutely need to go farm some sulfur. So that's the first thing I'm going to do before anything else. This way I don't forget and I can get this done and won't have to worry about it. I believe this is right where I gotta go. So go farm and get all my sulfur done for the day. Come back, gather up everything that I need to gather up, mess with my crops that I have, which isn't too many like the other server. I only have 16 crops on this server as opposed to 32. Why'd I do that? I gotta loot these cars anyway, because I generally need the gas. Even though I have gas probably back at the base, but every time I get a chance to get the gas, I get it. Just a necessity. It's one of the... It's becoming a bigger issue than even the Stardust or acid, because they kind of fixed these. Well, they did. They fixed the Stardust acid issue because there'll be an economy for it. But the gas is a little. It's not. It's just not as available. So it is in the cars. So I tend to run and grab the portable mixed fuel from the cars all the time. I know there's a lot of people that don't do this, but I mean, it's an easy way to get 400 or 500 gas if you need it. Just run the roads. It takes a little bit of time, but you can discover other things while you're doing it. So just makes sense, you know. It's free. It's free loot. Why wouldn't you get it? Sulfur's becoming one of the most sought after commodities. They're not solo. In the game. Because there are like extraction sites that you can do, but the extraction sites aren't really that easy, to be honest with you. You can do them solo, but it just pays to do it like and go and get the fuel. I can tell you right now that this server is mainly dead. It's a dead server. The people that were on here playing all the time are not the same people playing now. Very quiet server. Void still plays on the server, but he's doing his thing. And it's just farming all day in the game. So he only comes on to farm and then he's off doing his own thing. Which, because it's his game, he can play it the way he wants to. But when I had that conversation with him, he kind of mentioned like, "Oh, you're this is how servers die because people say stuff like this." I'm like, "No, servers die because people don't play." If I'm saying the server's dead, right, then it's not a lie because there's nobody on. No one's making that shit up to destroy a server at all. That's why I really hope for us to have servers that we can purchase like Rust. If we have servers we can purchase like Rust, I will absolutely 100% purchase a server, and then I'll play on it all the time. I don't care if anybody else plays on it, because I like playing that way anyway. It was a bad idea for me to join the Hive, and a very bad idea for me to go on Discord talking to people. Because I need to speak to people that are like me, not fucking weirdos and people who just like go off the rocker and just don't have no common sense, like common sense. That shit irritates me. So that's why I want to get my own servers. I don't have to deal with it. I can deal with the people on my server that I'll just make it known right from the door. There ain't no political talk on my server. There ain't gonna be no religious talk on my server. There's not gonna be any bullshit fucking social issues on my server. Play the game or don't play on the server, period. That's how I'm gonna be with it, so I don't care. I'm not getting into the bullshit. Don't come on here telling me you want to be called him, her, she, he, whatever the fuck it is. I don't care about that. In a video game, none of that matters. Just play your game. Leave people alone. Play your game. No need. You'll be called by the character that I see. Playing a female character, I'll refer to you as whatever the female character is. Playing a male character, I'll refer to you whatever a male character is. I don't want to know your personal fucking life at all. Bunny rabbits? Not messing with me. They don't worry about it. Got nothing. What did I do? No. Why? Why? Okay. Just give me hydration. Not much. I must have. There's no muscle. I know exactly what I just did. I gotta go back. I gotta get it. Damn it. not a big deal. Go back and get my stuff. Coffee's good, yeah. Coffee's real good, Gotta drink that coffee, yeah. So I think there's like 2 weeks left on the game or something like that, maybe 2.5 weeks. Around that, give or take a day or two. Then I think they're going to come into the game, they're going to rip it apart in development, and they're going to do what they need to do for the game. Basically, that's it. Make the game better. Better. We good? We good now? We good? Yeah, we're good. So when I came back over here yesterday, I changed a little bit how my back was set up. Now you can go out this door instead and go down to my patio, which is much better than having the steps going down there. The problem with that was the steps were sort of blocking any of those guns from firing if anything got inside. So I wanted to change it up a little bit. Had an issue with my water with the plants and all, so I had to fix that real quick, which I did. Yes. Throw a couple of them in there. This is getting ready to go. I gotta get a harvesting sickle. I gotta get an electronics grabber. I don't really need to get those because I farm enough that I get enough of that. And I have enough in here. Here you go, look at this. There's no activity here at all. Like this activity that you're seeing right now, that's it. That's it. Right, see that? Like, there's nobody, and I won't be making anything until release. Because there's nobody on the fucking server playing. Nobody. Nobody's playing. Made this massive farm, and that's all he does. For no reason. They did make an announcement, so he doesn't know what he's fucking talking about. They said third quarter. Again, this is the type of shit you got to deal with people who don't know anything about it. They just joined and that was it. I don't fucking like the fact that people come into the game and they just spread untruths. They said made it very clear. this is what happens. Somebody thinks they know the game. All they do is farm. They don't know the game at all. He really don't know the game at all. Because no one's on the server to buy it. There literally is no one really playing. The same people no matter what. Part of the issue with this game right now is they stealth nerfed a lot of the builds, like literally stealth nerfed them. So they're really having some issues. They come in and they change the gameplay while the game is going on, and then people come on after they spend time making their builds and everything else. And they're not putting out the patch notes telling you what's happening. You're gonna get people who quit. Was playing and he said, "Oh, they nerfed my build, so I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. I can't do anything. It's so weak now. It's like they nerfed it so much. There's no purpose in it. Okay? Because if you're gonna nerf the elemental build, then you have to be able to increase your regular damage, right? You got to make their damage comparable to every other damage if their elemental part is being nerfed. So, no. Or just take the elemental shit out of the game completely altogether. water right next to his base, dude. Like, what the fuck? It's right next to his base. I don't even think you need water. I think you just need to be close to water for those to work, too. That's how they have it set up. Weird. Yeah. I don't have my sensitivity on my microphone turned all the way up, nor and I keep it a little away from my face so that I don't have to have a mic sitting in front of my face while I'm trying to play the game. Does that sound better? All right, cool. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't read chat that much, so if you're talking to me, sometimes I may not see it. So my bad. I generally just get on and start playing the game. I don't pay attention to a lot of stuff. Just do some random commentary while I'm playing. I try. I get a lot of bleed over though because I'm using one of the boom mics now. So sometimes if I like turn my fan on in the room, I'm in the office, so it gets, and I run 2 systems. So it can get a little hot in here, so I'll run the fan, and then you'll hear the fan running, which is kind of crazy. I stopped using my headset mic because I was getting bleed over between the game and the microphone. So are you playing Once Human? So, like I was saying, the game is kind of like dead now. There's a couple issues. The stealth nerf. Oh, alright. Well, I play on Starlight N too. I got a main character over there, and I play on K also. I have a couple different characters. Server A is starting, Starlight A is starting to have issues with player population. Pretty messed up, but because the game's got everything here. It's just there were some stealth nerfs. A couple people quit playing. Other people just are getting bored with running the end game content, so they're done playing the game. A lot of stuff going on. At one point, Starlight A was the most popular server, population-wise. And I went and played on Starlight N for a couple days, trying to end game my character there. And when I finished the LEA over there, I came back over here to do it, and server was just dead. There was only a couple people talking in chat. Hopefully when the game comes out, they have everything worked out, and we'll be able to, like I said, purchase servers that we can run ourselves, like community servers like in Rust. I'll grab 2 of them, one PvE, one PvP, and I'll just play. Yeah, but they're lacking. What's happening is you get people in the beginning of the game that start to play, and then they rush through the initial content, and they don't go explore, right? So they're waiting for the next phase to open up, and a lot of them stop playing until the next phase opens up. And then once the next phase opens up, they start playing again. Not that they won't be on, but they won't participate in anything. They won't do it. They won't go around and explore. They won't do their side quests. As all the phases start to open up, you'll see people shifting servers, trying to like start again, and then they just barrel through the content again too because the phases are open. So they just try and go straight to end game. Most of the time when you get to end game, you're struggling with materials that you need, right? Everybody's struggling because they don't have enough of this, they don't have enough of that. Like I noticed this beta, everybody was talking about rubber. Like I have like 4,000 rubber sitting in my storage. I don't know why people are having problems with the rubber. But again, it's people rushing through content to end game, and then they have nothing after that. You have the silos, you have the bosses, you have the the primal war, but you don't have anything outside of that. And they do, like you could go explore the world and find all your decor for your base and upgrades and things like that, find new objects, stuff like that, new recipes that you might not have, find maybe get lucky and find a blueprint or two. But people aren't doing that. They're not going out and exploring. They just sit at their base. Like Void's a prime example. He's on the server. He just sits there and all day, all he does is farm. That's it. So then he's out of stuff. Like he runs out of things and he doesn't have it. And he has to ask other people because he doesn't go out and farm anything. He just farms at his base. That's it. It's pointless. When you start seeing people selling 1K acid for 10K sulfur, it's just because they have nothing else to do, but they don't want to go out and farm the sulfur that you can farm in 20 minutes. I mean, I can farm 30K sulfur in 20 minutes. And it gets me out of my base. Just once. Yeah, I mean, maybe once they have the cross play and all that other stuff, it'll be easier. But still, if you don't have good end game content, you're not going to maintain a population. I mean, we're seeing it now. Literally, they had 10 servers. Yeah, me too. Chuck, I'm selling acid if you need acid on the server. I got a vending machine. So it's the same price as... Wait, on this one? No, I don't have it on this one. That's on my other character. Sorry. But I can sell acid, I believe, once I start getting a surplus of acid. I started late on the acid farm on this one. On my other one, I got, like an entire box of acid that's just sitting there. Anyway, they have to have good end game content for people to stay in the game. When you take initially what they put up was 10 servers. I thought it was only 8. Everyone keeps saying 10. But when you even 8, if you took 8 servers and then you fold 4 of those into the other 4, there's a reason why you're doing that. You're not doing that. Yeah, Chuck loves to get his sulfur from other people. But I think he's probably at a position where I am on the other server. He's got so much acid that he doesn't need, and he's just trying to help out people who need acid by selling it for sulfur. I think that's where Chuck is at. Those people I don't mind because they're trying to help other people out, but I see a lot of other people, they're just lazy. They don't want to go do it themselves. Yeah, I was on the other server. I was selling acid for 7K sulfur, and then people were getting upset because I was selling it for 7K. I thought that was weird, but I'm like, what are you worried about what I'm selling it for? If you don't need it, then why are you worried about it? Because their sulfur then didn't get or their acid didn't get purchased. It's like we're not in a competition. I didn't need anything that I was getting. Like I went out and farmed my own sulfur, so I didn't need other people's sulfur. I have over 30,000 stardust over there. I have 30,000 acid over there on my other character, and it's like I don't really need anything. All my weapons, all my armor, everything's upgraded. So what am I worried about? I tell people all the time, like, if you don't want to pay the price that I'm selling for acid, then just go buy from somebody else. They need an established market pricing when they will. When the game goes live, it'll get better. Right now, it's kind of like messed up. No, because nobody knows anything. Everybody's just selling everything for whatever they can, trying to establish, what their pricing is. But there's no real like group price, like saying, oh well, sulfur's only worth this much and acid's only worth this much. Once we get the game come out and we get established markets, well, it'll be a lot easier then. Yeah, well, that's the thing. When you're seeing the guys selling it for 10K, when you see them selling it for 10K, it was just what they were doing is trying to make a uniform amount. So they were going for every 100 acid, you get 1,000. Or for every, 100 acid costs 1,000 sulfur, right? And that was for people who really needed it, because sulfur's easy to get. You don't have to worry about sulfur. You can get sulfur real easy. So it's not like people had to struggle to get sulfur. 10K sulfur, I mean, I just did my little farm, and what do I got? I probably got like 17K sulfur, something like that in my, let's see. So that's 16,000, 17,000, 18, 19, almost 20,000 sulfur in just this little run. So if you're needing acid, 2,000 acid's a lot of acid, to be honest with you. So it's not that bad. We got to get established pricing though, and I'm hoping that'll happen once the servers go live, because we do. Having pricing all over the place. That is a bug. If you walk in circles and you get lots of sulfur. Is that the one where you go through the bubble and then come back out of it and then go back into it and then come back out of it? Because if you go in them bubbles and something's close to it, it'll reset when you go in the shifts. And then when you come back out, it resets again. Yeah, but that you're literally proving my point right there. Like, sulfur is easy to get. You don't have to struggle to get sulfur. Acid is the problem for a lot of people because they don't pick the right expertise, or they don't want to go into the polluted area and set up this massive farm for the water, which takes forever anyway. That's horrible. Yep. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Actually, that's a really cool glitch. I ain't going to lie. But I'm going to give you a little hint, too. Say you want to go into your mimetics, right? And you want to... we'll go into... I'll show you while I'm in here. This might be a delay on here, so you might not... might be a little bit behind, so just bear with me. Say you want to get auto logging and you want to get the auto mining, right? And you want both of those. But you don't have a lot of points, and you don't want to waste your points on these two because you can just go out and do it yourself a lot quicker, right? These are slower, but you want them. So what you can do is you can purchase these, right? Then you go at, now, mind you, this is all dependent on where you have your base and if you're going to keep your base there or not. So you can even do it end game if you want to mess around with the auto mining and auto logging, so this way you don't have to go out and do it yourself. You put these down, right? You get the traits, you build them, you put them down, then you refund the traits. Well, the auto logger and the auto miner stay there. They don't disappear when you delete the traits. So you can have your stuff, just as long as you don't move your base, they will stay there. If you move your base, they'll disappear and you'll have to do it again. But It's not that hard to do because they give you all of your energy links back, right? I think you lose a little bit of your cipher. I'm not sure, but maybe you get all your ciphers back too. I'm not 100% sure about that. I think there's like a 30% charge or something like that, which really isn't a lot when you get towards endgame. But the reason why I'm telling you that is because you can do that with a lot of stuff. You can do that with your, the refrigerator. You can do that with the refining oil stations. Have the refining oil stations, and then you can take the points back for that. You could do that with anything, and it'll stay there, and then spread your points to something else that you may have needed later on in game, and you just didn't have enough points. I think the way that I have mine is the most efficient way of doing it. It gives you just about everything. You won't complete some of the, like, I don't do the resource detection to complete the season shit because I don't really care about that. I don't want to waste points in that anyway. I mean, you could and then refund it, but I'd rather do that with something else that I really want. Maybe I want the electric chainsaws and I want to get all the way down in the chainsaws, which I'm not going to do. But once you got the solar, you don't really need that. But that's how my tree's set up. Like, I don't know if people are investing in stardust barriers and protection generators and scanners. I think these things are not used that often. Some people might try them. They'll sit there and swear by them, but you're going to lose out somewhere else where you can really benefit. For side builds, you definitely want the drones because they give you a side bonus when you're fighting. So, I mean, you want these. And when you're doing big boss battles or you're doing, like, something that requires you want to do a lot more damage, that's when you run these. You don't run them in normal combat because you don't really need them, but in boss battles you want them. Yeah, exactly, with the water system. Yep. Yeah, you just get it and then you delete the points and you go back to wherever you were so that you can get the stuff that you need, bump it up, and then that's it. That's all you do. Temperature control doesn't work now, so I don't invest in that. And the vending machines, I don't normally do because if someone wants to trade me, we can just drop, I don't need the vending machine for that. The cooking, you don't really need cooking 5 because those are end game items anyway, and most of the time you need deviated stuff, so unless you get into farming, like really heavy into farming, you're never going to see that stuff anyway. Hopefully, like with Void, there'll be dedicated farmers that will put their stuff up for sale. I don't know. I try to get them to, instead of building those trucks, those stupid trucks that they leave over there, just build the vending machines at your base. Build a bunch of vending machines, have them side by side, stock them up, have people come to your base and buy the stuff, and then, that's it. Yeah, it can be useful, but you can get some of the stardust barriers just by going around and farming some of the areas. That'll drop. I have several of them on my other account. So I'm not going to invest in something that I barely use and probably not think. But you're right. If somebody's down and you got to get them up and it's really heavy damage coming on at that time, then throwing the stardust barrier down would work. But you don't really need to because you can use gel. Throw the gel down. You're getting that heal. But everybody's going to play their game differently. The problem, I like the game. I really enjoy the game. I got to be honest. I've been gaming for a long time, and this has genres from all the style of games that I like the looter shooters, the Division twos. It has Rust elements to it. It has a lot of these different genres that I enjoy playing within the game. But if you're not offering the end game content has to be there, and I tell people we're only playing on 1/3 of the map. There's still 2/3 of the map ready for them to develop. So hopefully, yeah. No, but you're right though. If you're going to do the masters and you can get that, I'm sorry, I'm switching subjects because you're probably not hearing it right away. Anyway, but you're right, though. If you're doing the Masters and somebody goes down and you're getting hit with a lot of damage, then the Stardust Barrier would be cool, too. But again, it's a very niche kind of thing. You don't really need it. You can use, if you're with a couple people, you can both throw their gels down, and you get that constant healing coming to you, and you can get somebody up just as quickly than have your gels. A lot of this problem that we're having on the servers is real simple. There's still some bugs that are nerfing people's builds, mess their builds up. Yeah, explore and loot. Yep. So that's why you're still playing, and I respect that, because that's what you should be doing. Yeah, the mobs are. Yep. The mobs are decent. All that. I mean, the game has great potential. It does. It has this massive amount of potential within it to be a AAA title, a sleeper hit. I mean, it can be. They just got to develop a little bit more. They got to balance out the game just a little bit more. They nerfed a lot of your elemental builds in the game, and I think that was a mistake because they didn't increase the regular damage of those elemental builds, right? So if I use Boom Boom. So if I use Boom Boom and I'm not getting the fire burn I was getting from like the closed beta 2, I was getting decent fire burn, 2100 ticks off of just the crank. Now I use Boom Boom, my burns don't go past 800-900, and I'm using I'm using everything I'm supposed to. They're nerfing these builds, and when you nerf these builds, you're not giving the build like you get regular direct damage from Boom Boom, and then you get your little fire bonus from it, right? If you're nerfing the fire part, you're not increasing the direct damage. So anybody who runs shrapnel, which is still a viable build and does direct damage, period, is always going to do more damage than you. You're never going to be able to beat them in damage because the bosses don't have any. You're not damaging them with fire. You're not damaging them with lightning. You're not damaging them with those things. So it's pointless. It's bad. It's actually a bad move on a dev's part to do that. And they're stealth nerfing them, so they're not even telling people they're doing it. I came on one day, my fire build was doing great damage. I come on the next day, I shoot the dummy, and the damage is cut in half. And I'm like, what is going on? So now if I go into an area that I used to be able to run through with Boom Boom, I can't no more. Because, again, all my things are calibrated. I don't have them all leveled up to the max where you do the blueprints, but that's because getting those items has to be done mainly through the wish machine, which is a very bad decision on their part too, to be honest with you, because that's setting it up for premium currency that you're going to have to pay for. And no matter what they say, if they keep the wish machine in the game, and that's the only way to get the better weapons for the most part and the better armor, it's going to turn. I mean, you can only make a certain amount of currency every so often. They're going to have premium currency where you can buy that currency. I guarantee it. That's what's going to happen. Also, this game ain't going to be free on release. I don't care what anybody says. You have 13 million people that were interested in the game. They are absolutely going to sell this game for a nominal fee. I mean, they could put the game out for like $30 and they'll get it. Because there's no company in the world that's going to allow that type of money to slip by it, right? None. There's no publisher that's going to let that money slip on by. It just doesn't make any sense. If you can make $300 million on a release, right? Selling the game for what? $20, $30 a copy? Why would you put it out for free? You could still make the money on your Game Pass. You could still make the money on cosmetics, and I'm telling you, it's set up to have premium currency, so it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Anybody who thinks it's not, even though the developer said it, and I want to believe them, but anybody who thinks that a publisher is going to let that developer do that, you're insane. Because the publishers invest all the money to the game. They need their money back. They're going to get their money back. And if this goes pay to win, because that's what the wish machine will be then, if this goes pay to win, nobody's going to want to play the game except for whales. Right? Like everybody, there's a lot of people who play this game who don't have the money just to spend, right? I have an excess of money that I can spend, right? Every month I have an excess of money that I can spend. So buying stuff in game and all doesn't really bother me. Yeah, exactly. Same here. Yeah. I just read your comment, by the way. The one, if they sell copy $15 and milks us with the cosmetics, I would let them take my. Yeah, same here. No, without a doubt, absolutely, 100%. But the pay to win for the wish machine is going to be the issue. Because if you have people getting the best gear and all that other stuff, and you play on a PvP server, that's an unfair advantage, right? Now on a PvE server, I don't care, because they can't kill me anyway, so I don't care. Let them get the best stuff. Let them, if that's what they want to do. But if you're going to do that, then keep the premium currency for only PvE servers. Then at that point, don't put it on PvP servers because you're going to ruin the server. Yeah, they're called gotcha machines for a reason, right? Gotcha. It's the same thing that they had an issue with the loot boxes. China's rules are a little bit different, though. They don't allow loot boxes anymore. They may not allow the premium currency. I don't know. I think they will because the form in which it's in, it's kind of like a loot box, but it's not. It's a part of the game with the Mr. Wish machine, so they might get away with doing it. I just hope they don't. But if they want a nominal fee, I mean, I'd pay for the game. I'd pay $20 for the game, easy, without a doubt. And I'm planning on buying 2 copies or 3 copies because I want to have something. I want to make a farmer, right? And then I want to make somebody who just does the crafting stuff. And then I want to make a character who's able to, do the acid and all that stuff, but also be able to fight. True. But the thing is you may never get an object that you need in game because of the way they have that set up. The blueprint should be something you go out and you get through through looting the world and all. That'll force people to go out and actually do the extra content that they're skipping over right now. Because again, they're getting 10,000, Starcrom. Then they're going and doing 2 pool, or the first pool's 1,000, right? So they're doing the first pool. They're getting some decent items out of the first pool. Then they're doing the 2 other pools, and they're getting all the objects. They may get what they need right away. So if they get what they need right away, they just start going to endgame. They don't have to go out and do anything. There's no reason to go explore because they're not worried about their base. They're building these square bases, and they're just putting the objects in there that they need, and that's it. That's all they care about. They're not building up their base. Like, my base is intricate. I have a design in my base. My base is functional. I built my base with the premise, what am I going to put in that area? Because I seen too many buildings that had 46 windows on them, 3 stories high, and only shit in the bottom window, and maybe a tub or a bed upstairs, and that's it. It's just stupid. It looks blah. It does. It takes up a lot of space for no reason. It's just idiotic. My base, everything has a purpose. Every single piece of my base is filled with something because I planned it that way when I made the base. I knew what I was doing. And I'm not no design engineer. I'm not any of that shit. I come from Rust. I played Rust for years. So I knew how to build circular bases, so I wanted something different. I didn't want just a square base. And then, you ride around like in your neighborhood or something like that. You see houses. You could try and build it in the game, like a house, like a rancher-style home or 2 stories. But you get a lot of people that don't care. They get their items, and they just go to endgame. And that is killing this game. That will kill this game. So put the blueprints out in the world for all the items, right? Make it a little bit harder to find, I guess. Make it RNG, so that you can't farm a specific area just to get that one piece. Or maybe make it so you got to farm a specific area, but make the chance to drop rates lower so that person has to spend time going back to that area over and over again to get the the stuff he needs. You want to extend the life of a game for people like us that like to go out and farm. We don't want that. Let me get back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, so I'm getting ready to go back to my base. You'll see my base now. I'm right up next to Void, by the way, because I was in his hive at one point, but I left. We had a difference of opinion and kind of had a screaming match on Discord. Yes, exactly. The mods, all that other stuff. There's issue with the mods anyway. Your top mod is the weakest mod in the game. It literally is, unless you're building a tank build. If you're building a tank build, then you got all the gold mods you need for that because you get the bonuses with the healing and all that other stuff. But other than that, there is no bonuses really for anything else. Why, when I heal, when I use a stim, is that when you give me a 30% increase in damage, right? I need that 30% increase all the time, not just when I stim, because maybe I don't get hit by the mobs as much. Maybe I don't get down to that level that I need to pop a stim and get a little damage buff or whatever. It doesn't make any sense. Like I don't know what they were trying to do there, but that's a very poor mod decision for like your top and all. You're really limited. Oh, let me go. Yes, exactly. Make it work to be a tank, right? Exactly. Yep. They do have a tank outfit in the game, and I think it would be really good. You know, do really well. But you got to change the way melee works too, right? So you would definitely, excuse me, I'm like getting lost here in my own base. Anyway, so that's where I farm all my acid through synth machines. You hear me? Right here. That's Void space over there. That's Void space. This is where I farm my acid. I got a little, I got a little 8-plot farm on the side. Each side, right there. I just do that for the corn ale and the fertilizer so that I don't have to worry about sanity at all. And then you come back here. I have my bees. Little flowers right here to keep them happy. Right? It's my resonator. All tier 3 weapons and guns. Everything spawns behind my base too, or off to the right or left sides, directly right here. So nothing spawns in front, so I don't have to worry about anything getting damaged in my base up there. Even though I have guns going all the way around. I don't have power issues at all. No power issues. Everything's powered. But I did my base so that I could play the game, enjoy the game, right? You can play the game, enjoy the game, and then also have the little bit of stuff that you need. Like Void, he has to build a huge base, and he's using his neighbor's base, because without that, he can't grow the stuff that he needs to grow, because he needs a certain amount of things. And that's great, because he does farming, and that's fine. I can't do farming all day long, nor would I. I'm not doing it. I hate the farming. World 9. So then I just got my... This is a separate area. Everything gets stored in here. Oh, matter of fact. Where's my sulfur? Right there. Sulfur and stone. I didn't need all that stone. I got extra stone. But I don't need anything. When I show you my other base, this is an oval design that I have. I'll show you when I'll go into flight mode and then. I'll show you it. Yeah. So this is really just the design of my base. That's it, right? So this is the front section. Like I said, I got the synthesizer benches in here that are just giving me only 10 of them. It gives me my acid that I need. Got my little truck with the disassembler on it, because if I need to go out and I know I'm going to farm a lot, I'll try and take it out. And then back here, my resonator, my little patio, everything's set up, designed. It's all uniform. These are slightly off from each other only because they're free-handed. I put them in freehand. I'm not going to do that next time. I'm actually going to build off and then create them with triangles. But that's it. It's my base. Nothing special, but every spot, everything. All my generators go up here. Little water thing. All right. Then my bedroom area. No, the thing is look, if you're building the base to like here, as you see, everything has a place. Everything, right? I have a place for everything. You know, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that my building was going to be round, so I knew I was going to use the oval coffee table. I knew I was going to, have my bedroom up here too. I built this little cubby hole right here. I didn't have this in my last build. This was just a wall here, but I was wasting space, so I built a cubby hole and made it like a little art gallery type style thing. I just knew what I wanted to do with it, and I knew I wanted to have something for everything. Like this is my crafting area. Everything up here is all for crafting. Right? Real simple. Nothing difficult about it. And then these two sections right here, which are smaller columns. And that's it. It's real simple. The build's real easy. There's nothing intricate about this build at all. But I just knew where I was going to place stuff, so I built things according to that. And then when I started finding like more objects, like this, like being able to build in this little cubbyhole, I didn't know I could do that. On my other builds, there was walls here, wall here, and a wall here, and I just had this section open. And I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna use that little cubbyhole. I'm gonna be able to put stuff in there. Can't use this one because that's where the stairs come up, but gave me some more room to like build stuff and not have it all cluttered up. And then like out here, I knew that I wanted to do acid, and I'm going to use the synthesizer or the synth bench farm. So I had to build a separate base for it because I don't want it to be all cluttered up in here. Even though I have a synth bench sitting here, but that's for normal stuff. And then this I just made up this beta, this right here, this defense. And I don't have a problem. They never get into my stuff. They don't destroy any of my building. I always kill them before they kill me. And I'm doing T3 solo. So I'll be doing T2s, 40 T2s here in a minute. Matter of fact, once I get all this stuff out of my inventory, I'm going to run those. Oh, here I am almost out of... I'm not paying attention. I do that all the time. But that's all I do. Come back, farm, come back, farm, go out, explore, hit all the areas. And don't try and hit the areas more than once, right? Don't only go to one area and think you're done, because it's RNG. So one of the easiest farms in the game is to go to Blackfell and then go out the exit here and go right here. This little house, this right here. This is a free farm right here with nothing but cabinets and storage, and you've probably already done it. But then if you run this route around, you get down to the houses down here. There's a blue house down here that's got nothing but stuff in it. There's a bunch of loot that you can grab, gear-wise and all that other stuff throughout the area. But this is an easy farm at low level. You can come up here if it's open. Yeah, me too. Uh-huh. But you can come up. I'm thinking about it for the next, when it goes live. Once the whole area opens up, if you're starting a new character or you're just coming to the server, this is for people who are starting a new character, coming to the server, and the phases are open up. Run up here and do this loot farm right here real quick. Right, no, right here. Sorry, this loot farm right here. Because you'll get your parts for the more advanced stuff out of here. Easy. Just running this. And you can run this, I believe it's 3 times a day. I'm not sure what the reset is on the boxes, but I do come back here at least twice a day sometimes. One time I came back 3 times. Yep, exactly. Exactly. But I'm thinking about putting a guide together eventually and doing some YouTube videos, because I only stream right now. I should do some videos of like build videos and how to set things up, stuff like that. Yeah, okay, so 3 days. Okay, it is 3. Yeah. I didn't want to be wrong and say 3 and it's only 2, and sound like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's... Anyway, I believe it's 3 runs I do daily if I'm up during those times. And then you can get so much loot out of that. And you can start building stuff a little bit earlier. The bow The crossbow is real easy too, because that's where the hell is that at? It's about a country club. Where's that at? Right here. Yep. You just go here to this building, and you can do this at level like 15. I mean, you can't use the bow till 20, but you can do this at like level 15. You can ride up here if this area's open up, jump on top of that roof, go right up into the bell tower, go jump down and loot it, and then leave without ever having to deal with anything. I mean, you'll have to deal with the sanity, but just make sure you have some like sanity pills, or you have some. The best thing to use is the beer or the ale, because then you have no sanity affecting you. Sanity doesn't affect you for a half hour. Yep. Yep. Yeah, the tower. The tower is easy. It's an easy run. But a lot of people don't know about that. A lot of people go there later in the game. The new people, like people like us, have been playing the game for a little bit. I've been playing since CBT1. You've been playing since CBT2, definitely. And we know that in CBD2 it was at the fountain right there, and you would have to fight the boss, and you would have to jump in there. But you didn't even really have to fight the boss. You could go to the fountain and sneak up there without the boss seeing you, hopefully, and you can get it. Or even if the boss saw you, you might have enough time to loot it and get out of there, which is what I did during CBT2. But all this stuff, I mean, people don't go down here and loot. Like all this all the way over here. You don't see people going over here and looting these small little areas. There's a lot of loot in here. People don't loot it. That's where I used to get my shelves all the time, the metal shelves. I used to get lucky and get them. I got them there like 3-4 times. But then I noticed like that's changed. Like the loot locations, a lot of them have changed. But a lot of people don't check out these small little areas on the map. Even over here, there's areas over here people don't even know about because they're not on the map. You don't see them, but there's buildings over here that people just don't even go to. The dark side. That's an easy one. Anyway, I just wish people would get the game a little bit more time to enjoy it. Melee and crossbow. I learned, and I'll give you a little trick. In the beginning of the game, the best way to fight the alphas that you run into isn't even a crossbow. Run a melee build, right? The melee build where you can just run into them. You can just run into them and kill them. And also run daggers, because and make sure you get enough psi, because it's based off of psi. Daggers are OP in the beginning of the game, like very OP. You'll kill everything one hit with a dagger. The elites, you'll kill them. The alphas, you'll kill them in maybe 3 or 4 hits tops. So it's a really strong weapon that they don't emphasize enough, because you have to craft them. So you got to craft like at 100 at a time, and then you go out, because you'll wind up missing every now and then because of the way that the friggin' this is so weird how they set up the crosshair where you actually shoot, because if you're near like a step and you see your crosshair right on a mob, but you're just behind the step slightly to the left, if you go to fire, even though that crosshair is right on that mob, you'll hit that step instead, and you won't even be shooting the mob. I don't know why they would have made it like that. Your bullets should go where the crosshair is. Otherwise, you're kind of like gimping people, because with the daggers, you got to crouch around. And you got to, be a little stealthy so that you can hit the people. You don't have to be stealthy, but I like to play stealthy with the daggers. But it's great. You found the the blue revolver? Hold on, do I have that? Oh, the hunter frag. This one? The hunter? 500? Yeah, this gun can be really good. Yeah. Like I got this, the backfire, but it's frost vortex. And I already use a frost gun. So if I went full frost build, I'd probably use this as the secondary. On my other account, I have this, the corrosion, which is really decent. The corrosion just does massive damage, man. I also have, where's it at? Where's the purple one? Not that one. Hey, there's another sniper rifle that does unstable bomber damage. That's on my other account too. I don't see it in here though at all. Oh, here it is. This one. That's really good for an unstable bomber build early game because snipers are like overpowered. Yeah, yeah. I hear you. Wrath of Hades, I can get that too. This is weird though because they call it the Wrath of Hades or Hades, depending on how you say it. But you would think this was like a fire build gun. Like that would be the fire build gun. And it's not. It's a fast gunner. And I heard that if you build a nice fast gunner build, you can do a lot of damage really fast, like really rapidly. And you get that infinite reload stuff where you always have ammo. So you never have to reload. That's a really good build. I don't think anybody has found this yet that I know of, the compound bow. I don't even know if this is in game. But look what the weapon characteristics on the compound bow is. Unstable bomber. Imagine that. Imagine that hitting somebody, and then you get the proc from the unstable bomber. That's going to devastate mobs. I've never seen it, and I've wanted it since playing the game. I can't find it. I looked online. I didn't see anybody who has it. But I definitely want it for my other build. And then armor. I mean, I don't even... Look at this. I don't even up these. I mean, this is for shrapnel, right? So if you go shrapnel, you definitely want the beret. And you can find that in game easy. There's a guide to find that. That's not hard. The Renegade, I thought Renegade was going to be really good. And it could be good. But I'm not sure what build that's really going to go for. Maybe Power Surge or something like that, you know, for the weak spot, I guess. I'm not sure. Wait, what is the Masamune? Which one's that? I think I have that on my other character. Or maybe this one. Wait, which one is it? I probably said that wrong anyway. Oh, the sword. Okay, hold on. Let me see. I gotta check that out. Oh, yeah. I haven't seen it. I have this on the other character. I have a couple of these, actually. I might have one on this character, too. But I don't have the blueprint for it. I just got it in a drop, so it's kind of pointless because you can't repair them. But yeah, this would be cool if somebody got this. It's supposed to be in game, but where? So's this. The Scourge Frag. Yeah, you get the, yeah. I don't even like saying that name. Kukri? Or Kukri, whatever. Kukri? Nah. Ain't no cuck up here. But no, I mean, there's a lot of, like, I think somebody, I got a Predator drop one time, but it was just a drop. But you don't see this that much either, I don't think. That would be nice for Fast Gunner. You take that. But they don't have anything in here for Unstable Bomber. That's a bounce weapon, right? This is Fast Gunner. This is Fast Gunner. Like, they have two weapons for Fast Gunner, which makes no sense to me. Makes no sense. You should have one for Unstable Bomber. They're not. I don't think they're balancing out the game correct, unless they're trying to tie in certain builds to certain weapons so that you use certain weapons. But no, because Fast Gunner has several different weapons that you could use. I think Fast Gunner only makes sense if you use an LMG, though. I don't think it makes any sense if you don't use it. But then the mods. This is another thing, too. Like, I don't use these mods. I could probably delete all these, but I'm only holding on to them just in case. I don't even know why I'm holding on to them, to be honest with you. Just in case. I should just delete all the mods that I don't use. But you never know. You might get a mod that you like or whatever, and then you know you want to use that instead. So I try to hold on to the mods. And that, look at that. Okay. Oh, okay, I have over 3,000 rubber. Like, I could never understand why people were always having issues with rubber. You do one run around in like any area, you get rubber from everything. So it doesn't matter. I just didn't. It didn't make any sense to me why people were running out of rubber. That's got to be the weight from that. Level 2. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, I seen people doing it. They were giving a lot of it away, and then when you really need it for your repairs or whatever it is, you don't have enough. It's pretty sad. You call, I'll drop you 1,000 rubber. You come on, I'll drop you 1,000 rubber. You'll be up again. You know what I mean? It's not that. Just don't give it away to anybody. I don't really give any of my items away unless, like, when I was in the hive, I would give Void some of the items. I would give the other guy that was in the hive with us some items, but other than that, I tend to not give away my items. I hold on them. I'm a loot whore. I call myself a loot whore because I loot everything. Like when I'm killing mobs, if I see a glow drop, I gotta go over because more or less it's gonna be acid, and any extra acid is good acid. Let's do, you'll see this. This is easy. I do 5 at a time and nothing more than 5 at a time. I don't go over that. Oh, I'm still at my weekly. Why? Oh, 11 hours. Never mind. Can't do it yet. I'll show you one, though. I'll show you how my weapon, how it works with just one. I could do one. Damn, that radio is loud. Still loud no matter what. And these have the bonus on them, so they get the bounce off of them too. So they kill really quick. Fairly quick. But you'll see everything spawns here or out that way. Like all in this area. Nothing spawns over this way at all. Let me fix that sound real quick. I hate the radio playing all the time. There we go. But I got so many guns. If anything gets in here, something's wrong. I'm not doing it right. I need to quit the game. Well, all right. So in normal areas, you can find these areas. I just happened to find this area. When I first put my base down, I ran a resonator, right? And my base was exactly 180 degrees in the opposite direction. So the front of my base was facing this way. All the spawning for the mobs were all over here. That's all they were. So I turned my base 180 degrees because my resonator was in the back of my base, right? And I wanted all the mobs to be towards the back. So I mean, look at that. Dead already. That thing didn't even stand a chance. So there's 4 locations that mobs can spawn. One every corner. In each corner of your outline of your base. So in each corner, they can spawn. But there's some areas where they only spawn in a certain section because how the other bases are. Like his base being there, Void's base being there, and the other hive member that was with us, his base being there, didn't really allow the spawns to come over this way. You can actually block the spawns too. Put a building up in the corners, and they won't spawn there. The mobs will spawn somewhere else. So you can force the spawn behind you or to the sides, and then you just set up your turrets. I mean, you see guys with these massive bases, and their thing is like inside their base, and they got all these defenses and levels and layers. I don't need anything. It's wide open. All you use is your weapons. This was an afterthought. This wasn't even here. These three right here. I just put them there because that's where my water. I'll show you. I'll show you like all my wires running everywhere right now. Usually I stack my wires so that you can't see them, but in this, since we can remove them and you can't see them, look, this is where all my wires are running. That's where my water pump is inside there. So I was like, you know what? And the alpha mob that kept spawning kept destroying my water pump. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to build this. He's not going to be able to destroy my water pump no more. It was the only thing that they destroyed. It was the only thing he would attack was my water pump. So it's pretty cool. You can actually build something out there in those corners, and the mobs will go for that first. A lot of people don't understand that either. Put a water pump out there, and a mob will go after that. They'll go after the water pump. And then you can just shoot them with your turrets. There's little tiny tricks that a lot of people don't know. They build these massive structures, or they offset their resonators in another area, and then they build everything around it. And it's just weird. I never saw the need for it. Yeah, turret protection. That's all you need. So I put down the slows, right? So I put the slows. I put these spike strips down. Usually I'll run the fire traps on each corner. So every corner, like right here will be one. Then right here will be one. Then like in between here will be one. And then one right here in the middle of the two blocks. I'll have one. And I'll run them all the way around. And that works really well. But that gets expensive in materials. And especially if you go to like tier 3 fire traps, it's really expensive. You don't really need tier 3 fire traps, right? Oh, well, you're lucky with the elites, because usually the elites they'll start hitting your home. You got lucky. But yeah, so when you first go to build a base, what I tell everybody, put down your footprint of the base, like what you think your base is going to be, how big it is, and where you want it. And then run one resonator, a level 1. Watch where the spawns are, where the spawns coming at, and then build your defenses based on where the spawns are. Don't build your defenses just randomly. Build them where the spawns are. I go all the way around my base because I never had this circle outline around my base before. You'll see a triangle set up, this triangle. This is what I had. One triangle here, and then I would go to the next triangle, and there would be nothing in between. I wound up doing the actual ring around it because it just looks better. And I didn't have the back on my original base design either. In CBT2, I never had this back here. I only had this structure. But I would have 360 degrees of turret coverage. And then I would just watch where the spawn was. I would put my resonator there. I would build around my resonator like a little triangle circle. And then I would put a ring of turrets around it. I would put the fire traps there. And I would just let it go then. And it was I never had a problem with getting my base destroyed. Never, not once. Because I always did that. I'd always run the resonator first, see where my spawns were, and then I would put my resonator in a place where I thought it would take too much time for him to get to, and I would have maximum firing time from the turrets. Because the turrets fire in bursts. They don't continually fire. So they'll stop every now and then, and that's why I have multiple turrets. So when one stops, another one's still firing. Or another one on the other side picks up and starts firing over. Most of the problem comes in if you build like this, where you have a height to your foundation. And then they come like right up next to your foundation like this. But if you notice, I'll have turrets that'll still be able to hit them. These turrets right here, and that's why I built them. Because if you come right up next to my foundation, these turrets are still going to fire and kill them. And that's what you do. You put 1 or 2 turrets out in the open just in case you build a higher foundation. I built the wall because it's harder for them to get to the resonator. Actually, if this was a little bit higher, where you can't even jump to grab it, that's really where you want your wall at. So you want to put your foundation just to the height where you can't jump and grab it. Because if you can't jump and grab it, none of the mobs that spawn can either. And they won't climb up into your resonator. They can't get to your resonator at all. The only thing that can get to your resonator then would be the flying mobs. And your turrets would shoot them down easy. But you would need a little, maybe a ring of turrets, depending on where you know the mobs are spawning. You would need some turrets out in the open that would shoot the ones if they're up against your wall, because your turrets won't hit them. But it's real easy to block them. It's not hard to block the mobs at all. They're pretty simple. I showed this to other people, and they're like, "Man, I wish I could do my resonators at your spot." And I'm like, it's like, sorry, you can't. Because even if you're in a hive and you put a resonator down here, they can't access the resonator that you place in your territory. They can put it down, and they still can't access the resonator because it's in your territory. You're the only one that can access it. So that's the shit part about not being able to. Because if I do 40, if I do my 40, that means my hive mates get all the enjoyment out of me doing my 40. They get the benefits of that because they get all that star crown, and they can't do their 40 because they don't have a base set up to do it. So I lose out. They get mine, but I don't get theirs. In a hive, you want to have everybody have a setup with a resonator so that everybody can get the benefits from it. So if you have 4 people in a hive and you have 40 level 2s between 4 people, so what that's 160 level 2s. All of you should be doing that so that everybody benefits from that. You'll have a massive amount of star crown every week that you get off of just that. But you'll get people who won't build their base like that. They'll build it messed up. Yeah. And I think we did a test with building a resonator close to my guns from Void's building. And my guns would not shoot at his mobs that were spawning. They wouldn't shoot. So I think it's per area also. Yeah, and they get melted. And that's the best way to do it. Like, you always want to, but just know you gotta find out where they spawn. That's the biggest important thing of beating a resonator. I don't know how many people I've heard horror stories saying that their whole entire base is collapsed. It's gone because, they had things spawning on top of their building or spawning inside their area. Just find out where it is. Put your little footprint down. Don't even start to build your whole base. Put the footprint of your base down. Then run a resonator real quick. See where the spawns are. And go from there. But again, you can block spawns in the corners by putting buildings there. I know that I've seen it. I've seen people do it. So they'll block the spawn. Yeah, there's some lag going on in the server. They're all talking about it now. Yeah, it's a good practice what you're doing. You're building. You built around your resonator smart so that they can't get to it. That's a smart way of building, right? But you learn that. A lot of people just come in and they think they can put the resonator right inside their little 4x4 starter. And think that that's going to, protect it. It's not. You need to invest in the turrets, number one. If you want to do anything outside of a level 1, you need to invest in turrets. Invest in your turrets. Get your turrets up and running. Yeah, yeah. And that's probably because they were spawning under the map. They might have been spawning under the map. I've had that happen where mobs have spawned in mountains or underneath the map, and they were hitting my turrets, and I couldn't do anything. And I could see the turrets pointing down, shooting, and I could see the hands coming up through the map, but that's all I would see of the mob. There's a lot of little bugs in this game that they got. Let me get these wires removed so I don't have that shit showing anymore. Anyway, there's a lot of little stuff that they got to fix in the game still, but I'm hoping that they do. They fix everything that they need because it'd be more beneficial. But this up here, I made this for a shooting floor basically. So when the alpha spawns, if my turrets really aren't hitting the alpha, because sometimes he can spawn a little bit far away. He can't now because of these areas, but he used to be able to spawn like out there, and my turrets wouldn't shoot at him for some reason. I don't understand why, but I guess he was just outside my territory, so the turrets won't shoot just outside the territory for some reason. It was weird, really weird. So then when I put those in, that ended that, and now he always spawns like real close. But invisible. Did you have anything in that area? Like, was there anything in that area that you built? So the mobs are just completely invisible. That sounds like a rendering issue. Yeah, see, I don't get that with the turrets. I don't. When I run the resonator, I mean, anything outside of that, like something running by or whatever, it'll shoot. But I'm talking about with the resonator, doing the resonator, it doesn't shoot outside my territory because it wouldn't shoot the mobs that spawned on Void's territory. So Void put a resonator up over here, and my turrets wouldn't shoot any of that stuff that was spawning for him. Nothing. Right. No, when I'm saying something a rendering, all right, maybe I said that wrong. It's a rendering issue on the server side. It didn't render the animations so that you could see them. It rendered the damage and the the effect of those, but it didn't render the actual animation so that you could see it. Like, that was server side. That was the server issue. That's not your issue. But it is a lot better though than Beta 2, because Beta 2 your turrets used to shoot your own house. Other people's turrets used to shoot your house for no reason. Just start shooting if a rabbit was near it or whatever. And then mobs always spawned on your roof for some reason in Beta 2. They were always spawning on the roof. Well, I've run in. Have you seen any of the lighting effects? Like in an area, but there's no light there? I see that all the time in this game now. They removed a lot of objects, but didn't remove the light that they had generating from that object, because that's separate. So they didn't remove the lighting effect. So you'll see like a mist, a bright mist every now and then somewhere. Every time I go somewhere, I see one of those somewhere. Like how this works. See how that mist comes down to get the light? That light isn't really generated from that. That's a separate animation. So what they were doing is they were removing the lights in certain areas, but leaving the lighting effect. So you would see these weird lighting effects. I don't even care to pull these because I don't need them right now. I'm just going to leave them like that. The farming was for my alcohol and all, and I got plenty of it. I don't need it. Yeah, I every time I went, when I first started the CBD2, I didn't need a serial key ever because I played in beta 1, so I always got into the games immediately. I never needed a serial key. Still don't. But I would set my turrets up in that 360 degree thing, and then if a rabbit spawned over here, these turrets would recognize it, and I would always have damaged walls. I would wake up the next day with my wall broken. Right, just one wall or two walls because it would shoot through, and then it wouldn't need to blow up any more of my base. But I had a guy. I was over by Myers Market, and I was built right outside Myers Market because that's a great farm spot right there. And there was a guy down by the river, and his turret kept shooting my base. So I went over with explosives and I blew his turret up because you could do that then. You could throw grenades at other people's buildings and stuff like that and damage them. So I went over with a bunch of C4 and blew his turret up. Well, just the foundation. So his turret disappeared. And then it stopped. But soon after that, they fixed that problem. So, I mean, even this. Look, it's rendered in. But look at his bees, how they move to me. They move all choppy. And I'm almost sure that they're doing this with the animations at a certain distance to have less packet flow back and forth between client and server so that the servers has less lag. Pretty smart if that's what they're doing. It just makes everything look weird. I don't like that. That building won't render because it's too far away, but I can see the stupid stuff. That building should either not render it at all, right? Or fully render for me, and I have all my settings on high as far as my video is concerned. I turn off VSync, I turn vegetation density down, and I disable motion blur because I think motion blur is stupid looking. But other than that, everything's on the highest it can be, and I don't understand that. I should be able to see that with no issues, but it's on their end. So the building starts to render, but it's not fully rendered. And I think that creates more lag than anything else because as I start to get to it, now the building's trying to speed up to render it in. Yeah, it's not that bad because they changed a lot of the graphical. Well, I mean, in fairness to them, they are doing a lot of work, and they're right now, this is all about... I think the game is fairly set in how they're going to have it, right? Because if you're in your last beta before release, that's just to make sure that you stress testing the server, you're doing other stuff like that. But it's also to work on optimization, and that's it, right? So they're optimizing everything now for the server. But again, look, there's nobody here. There's all these buildings, and nobody's here except for him over there. That's it. None of the... I've never seen this guy since he built his base. Never seen that guy. There's another guy that was back here somewhere. Don't see him anymore. Like, nobody is playing. They all went to other servers to create new characters. Because at level 50, it gets stagnant. Like, I think I only have... He was here, and then this. And then that's it. That's what I have left in the game. Maybe some little tiny... maybe one or two new quests, because I've seen they put a new quest up over in this area the other day, or over here somewhere. I already did it, but it was like right around here there was a new quest. Oh, here goes something I gotta do. Why we fight. Secret Harbor. I was just there too and didn't do it. But even on my other account, I don't really have... Damn, I just hit the wrong button. I hit my macro. I hate that because then it starts popping up my Windows because it's not a set macro. It's just on my keyboard and it's already set to like Windows key or some shit. Anyway, so on my other character, I'm finished everything, basically. Right? It's not much to do after that. I can go back through, but I got a lot of the decorations that I already needed on that character. Almost the same as everything I have in here already. I still want to go out and explore, but I want to start from like the beginning area and just go through that. It just gets boring because you can kill stuff so easy. There's no real like feel to it then at that point. Get that little. I don't know many people are gonna see these. I mean, it says spectral cloaks for 25 rubber each. So he's having a problem. This guy's having a problem with his rubber. That's funny. I find that real funny. I don't have no problems with anything right now at this point. And on my other character, I definitely don't have any problems with anything. I just get, like I said, I got to do LEA on this, and I think I can do last boss. And it's hard for the last boss because I'm an elemental build. So like I was telling you earlier, you look at Boom Boom, right? So Boom Boom's damage 427, fire rate 500, right? But you get that bonus damage from the explosion because I'm using hardy gloves, so I build some stacks, and then once the stacks are at max, it explodes. But if I can't build any stacks off of the boss, I lose all that damage. So the only damage my weapon will do is 427. That's it. That's all it'll do. No extra damage whatsoever. But if I had shrapnel build, I would get that damage plus, because shrapnel is direct damage, I would get the shrapnel damage too. Which is weird because the mods are cater to unstable bomber and shrapnel also, right? So unstable bomber doesn't work on the boss, even though that's direct damage, but shrapnel does. And shrapnel gets a bonus from the mods also, while unstable bomber won't get a bonus from that mod. So if you're using a mod that gives you damage to all damage types, like here, right here, element, blaze, frost, shock, and blast, none of those work. None of them. But the shrapnel ones will work. It's stupid. I think that's a poor design. If you're going to give us elemental damage, our element... I mean, he can be resistant to elemental damage, right? But at some point, we should be able to break through that resistance and our elemental damage start working again. And it doesn't. It's stupid. Yeah, you're right. There's something wrong with the unstable bomber. I think they tried to change the way that Jaws was proccing so much and hitting so much. And they were trying to lessen the damage of Jaws because everybody was going towards the Jaws type of build. I thought that was dumb anyway because there's a lot of other builds. I mean, Power Surge is really good, right? Fire builds were the meta in CBD2. Like if you had a fire build, you just steamrolled all the content. Now they're no longer the meta build. The meta build seems to be shrapnel for the end game bosses. Why would I build? You gimped me basically. Is what the game's doing. It's gimping us now, because here the whole entire time we're building a certain type of build, right? And we're getting the armor for it and everything else. Now at the end game we got to go. We got to go shrapnel in order to beat the boss. You don't have to. Like, I've beaten a boss with my unstable bomber build. I had help, but I mean, I beat it. We beat it. So it does work. But the problem is you're not doing nowhere near as much damage. Now, in CBD2, we went and fought an endgame boss. And I did 1 million more damage than anybody else. And it was a fire build, right? Initially, in the beginning of this, I believe, you could do fire damage to the end boss. I don't know if the big boss was at the end of CBD2 or it was only here in the beginning of CBT3. Anyway, at some point I was able to do fire damage to that big boss, the giant. I could do fire damage only for the first part of its phase, and then the fire damage was done. So when you got down that first bar, because it was in 4 sections, when you get down to that, when you do that 1/4 of the bar, the fire damage would be obsolete then. That's okay, because at least you're getting all that fire damage then initially. So you're doing some damage. Now when I go in with somebody, if I don't have a shrapnel build, my damage looks like I'm not doing shit to the boss. It's because the bosses don't take any of that ancillary damage. They don't take any elemental damage now, and it's shit. So you go in and you got this guy doing a million more than you because you're not doing any more damage. You're just doing normal damage, direct damage. Stupid. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I have the sniper unstable bomber build. That's exactly what I have on my other character. And I think I have 3 stars full caliber. Matter of fact, I can check right now. I think I have 3 stars full calibration. I know I have full calibration because I have enough materials for it. So I'm not stressed on materials of this. You'll see this base. This base is built differently, and I don't generally run resonators. If I do, I run them in the water because of how I got my base set up on this one. I added a bunch of extra buildings though. But if you notice, like this base is just it's a square base, 4 levels. So it's not really 4 levels. This level is just for my storage and those. I don't really do anything up here. I have my other things here. But anyway, my little farm. Alright. So this is my base here. 360 degrees of coverage, right? But since I have these buildings now, I didn't put this building over far enough, so the resonator spawns sometimes. Some of the resonator spawns will spawn right here, like right next to it. So I usually build 2 turrets right here to cover that when they spawn. But anyway, you see I got my resonator out in the water. And I don't have to worry about them getting to it. So anyway, this base design is real simple. Real easy base design. Right, got my kitchen over here, stuff like that. But anyway, here, I'll show you. So gear. Sniper, right? Gulp lure. Oh, calibrated, or I have 4. I have tier 4 calibrated 10. Right. I don't have the jacket no more because I couldn't find a blueprint, but I had 3 jackets that I found out in the world, and I've destroyed all 3 of them doing the end game content. So now I have to switch back to the Falcon jacket. I need to get the sleek jacket. I tried to find out where it might be. It used to spawn at the one area, and it doesn't spawn there no more, so they changed it. But this is just my crafting area up here. Real easy. But I'll show you my acid. Like I don't need to worry about acid. Right? I'm selling. Now this is just my box. I don't need no acid. So this is just here. If I go collect all that acid, it'll fill this box up. But 25,000 in Stardust. Or what? 2,500. Yeah, 25,000. Is it 25,000? Yeah, 25,000. Stardust. I don't need anything. I'm at end game. I've already completed it, so there's nothing for me to need. These are all done over here, except for those 2, I think, still going. Look, I collect all this acid, and I got thousands, couple thousand more acid. And I'm selling acid on this server. Because I don't need it. I actually don't need anything. And I even told that. I was selling the acid for 10,000 here. And someone was like, 10,000. I'm like, you can buy it or not. I don't need your sulfur. I literally don't need the sulfur. That box is full. This box is like half full. This box, the bottom box is like half full. Or all the way full. This box got sulfur in it. This box doesn't have any in it yet, but if I farm a little bit, that'll be filled up. I don't need sulfur. Because I don't even need the acid, so I don't need sulfur. I'm just selling it. If you want it, you go, and that's what I told him. I was like, if you want it, you can buy it. If you don't want to buy it, don't. I don't care. So one guy came over here and bought, I don't know, 70,000 worth of sulfur from or acid from me already. And he comes back every now and then and buys more, and I just keep trying to make it stock, keep it stocked. But my farm's covered. I don't need to worry about my farm. This is a 36 plot farm. I don't even have to worry about it. Everything is working perfectly. Got my bumbles going at it. Little flowers in front of them so they can be happy, because, you know, they get miserable if we don't have flowers, apparently. And then that's it. Nothing. I don't worry about food. I mean, literally have nothing to worry about. Got everything I need for the game. But when you said the sniper with the unstable, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's that shotgun I was telling you I got. This is the gold shotgun. Since unstable bombers skill set, like if you go into your memetics and then you go into your pack skills, they are unstable bomber and power surge. So you want to build. They already have the build set right there that they think complements each other, right? So I go unstable bomber and I go power surge. So I got power surge right there. And this thing up close, it's a 2-shotter on every other mob, on every mob. 2-shotter, maybe 1-shotter, depending if you hit head or not. And then I use this for all my. I mean, I use this more than anything else because it's just the damage this does when unstable bomber procs. And then these are my stats. I put my crit rate up a little bit just to get a little bit more bonus. Without the jacket, you lose a lot of your bomber. See? You lose so much damage with your unstable bomber damage bonus. Without the jacket. You need the jacket now. They nerfed the shit out of this, and that's the problem with it. At one point, I had 100%. Now, I don't have 100% anymore. It's gone. I have no idea how it happened. It's something they did. I mean, my crit damage is almost at 100. Status damage bonus is 40. You know, shock damage and blast damage. Then your blast damage is right there, so I'm getting 50. I almost had 100 there. I lost out on some damage, but I still hit hard as shit with it anyway. On normal mobs and even elites. There's nothing to it. But I do my resonator stuff. And I'll build a line of turrets right over there. Because there's a spawn right here. And I'll get the elite to spawn on the other side sometimes, but usually my turrets can handle that. This base is not set up for doing resonator stuff. My other one is. Because I didn't test the resonator here when I moved. I just moved. This building wasn't here. That wasn't here. None of this was here. It was just the turrets and the base itself. And I never planned on doing the resonator, even though I should. What's that? What's going on? Wait, somebody's selling acid, I think. Yeah, they're talking about the acid trades. It's funny as shit. These guys are funny. just build your second account, right? For like acid and what is it? Stardust or whatever it is. Yeah, Stardust and then like super stuff like that. Like I'm gonna have a farming account just for farms, you know, doing crafting for food and stuff like that. I'm gonna have an account for the acid and Stardust and whatever else I can get out of it, because I want the one that also does the crystals, the platinum crystals. I want that on there also if I can get it, because plat crystals, you know, it's an end game thing that you need. Plat crystals. And then I'm gonna have one account. I don't want to do that. Then I'm gonna have one account just for fighting. I'm gonna have it maxed out for like getting my, you know, for my benches and shit, to get more ammo in my benches, things like that, to do more with my my crafting, stuff like that. I'm gonna try and shoot. I'm gonna shoot for three. That's what I'm gonna shoot for. I don't know if I'm gonna have 3 accounts, but a minimum I would like to see is of 3 accounts. I mean, if the game comes out for, you know, $10, shit, I'll buy fucking 6 accounts. I don't care. I got enough accounts, like email accounts, for that easy. Okay, so how much did I just gather? Acid-wise, where are you at? Right here. So out of that, a full run, I didn't even do a full run, but what, 5,500 acid. And you can get that a day. You can actually get more than that a day, depending on how many of those you run and how much you do. So you never, at some point, if you get that skill, you'll never have to worry about acid, ever. You'll just have to worry about Stardust. And if you get the Stardust skill, and then you get the skill that allows you to create the fuel, and you can start that real early in the early game, you'll never have to worry about none of that either. Because then you'll just have to go and get the star nodes and then come back and craft it. It's all easy. Most of the problem with the acid and the Stardust and everything came from people not knowing the game. Like, we have to learn this game. And I think it's going to change when the game comes out. It's going to be slightly different. I think they're going to tweak a lot of stuff within the game. They may nerf some of this acid farming because it depends, you know. What gets me is they gave you a way to get more acid if you don't have that sulfur to acid. You can just go in the polluted areas and do it, but no real way for the Stardust. Like, the Stardust doesn't have that same advantage. Right. So you can, you know, yeah, you can do just mob acid farming if you want to. You can make enough. You can make enough. Yeah, but what if, okay, so here's the thing with that, right? Because that's repetitive, right? That's over and over and over again. It's not passive. You have to actively go out and get that stuff. What I'm talking about is they gave an unfair advantage to acid farming, right? Because they have passive ways of doing it that are real simple. But they don't really have a passive way of farming Stardust. There's something through a pump or something like that, I think, that you can get, but I don't know about that. I don't know many people that run that. I'm assuming it's a real thing. I just haven't seen it myself, so I can't really speak about that too much. I'm only speaking about the things that, you know, I do or I've seen in the game. But farming is another thing. The crops have to grow faster, and the fuel farm definitely has to be faster. Either give us the ability to make more of those expertise refineries, or just, I don't know. I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. Just don't. Hold on. You got to give us more, or just speed it up, one or the other. Because this is slow. I mean, you're talking 1 or 10 every hour. That's crazy. It's crazy. Let me put more acid in those. And the conversion rate really sucks at it. It's just horrible. It's just sad, man. I mean, they gimped. They gimped the hell out of people doing this. See, that's weird. I can spit 1,000, like just do that, and it'll do the math for me. Now I got to do the math. So that's what, 820. No, 720. So I like this build right here better than I like the other one that I have, because, I mean, it's just the unstable bomber's damage is insane. Just crazy. I went through content so fast with it, like the normal content so fast with this. What? Why you sound like you the problem? What? Somebody trolling? What's that about? He just said that to dude, laugh out loud, why you sound like part of the problem, and then just admits, look, what he writes, PvP server and other PvE server are so dead. Like, you just said the same thing he said. Like, why even troll like that if you're saying the same shit? Don't even make no sense. Crazy. I can't stand chat, man, because you get that idiotic person that comes in and says one thing, trying to start some shit, and then says exactly the same thing he wants to start shit over. Come on, bro. You get common sense, man. Like, use your head. You're going to say the same shit? Of course. Nobody's part of the problem when they point out the fact that servers are dead. That is not the player's fault that that they pointed out that a server. They're just making an observation. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You get too many sensitive cupcakes that think all of a sudden, because you say something like that, you're killing it. You're part of the reason why the server's dying. Why? Because I'm saying the server's dead? It is dead. There's nobody here. You got 5 people talking in chat, and that's it. You think that's a good server? With 5 people talking in chat? That's not a good server. That's crazy. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't. It don't make no sense to me. Like, come on. Use your brain, man. Yeah, you do, you do. I don't care that people are giving an opinion. I really don't. But when someone's just randomly trying to troll somebody, and then literally 2 lines later said the exact same thing, but just didn't say it about this server, but saying about he just said the same shit, the same thing. I muted the world too, but every now and then I left it on. Like now, I'm leaving it on. But initially, I had some issues with some idiot in chat, and I didn't want to deal with him because he thought he knew the whole game. But it was his first time playing it. And I'm like, you didn't even play the last game. So whether things have changed, there is a lot still the same from last game, from last beta to this beta, and you don't know what you're talking about. You're telling people lies, and I kept saying that to him. And then he was also trying to rip people off in chat, like Stardust and Acid at low levels, they're very important. You should not be buying anything with those at all. And people in higher levels should not be charging low levels for their acid and Stardust, right? You shouldn't be doing that because you know they need it for leveling. So why would you do that? Just charge them, energy links, set up a thing, let them pay through energy links, because energy links, you can just sell shit and get that back real easy. It's not hard. Just make canned meat and you get all the energy links you want. I don't know. It kills me. True. Yeah, you're right. You could. Yeah, I know. A lot of people give Sonny a hard time, but I think it's because Sonny initially with the war band, this as far as I know when I joined the server, I didn't care because I didn't participate in it anyway, so it didn't affect me. But Sonny wasn't letting anybody outside of the warband know when they were doing those fuel runs and when they were doing the Prime Wars. So people were getting upset at that because they would like to participate and the Prime Wars should be open to everybody, right? They are open to everybody. You really don't even have to participate. Just find out where Sonny's having the Prime War and you could just go there and get the points for free and not participate at all. That's a dick move. If you're going to participate, you should be paying like the gas and all. But initially, Sonny wasn't telling people about it. And so there was people on the server getting upset about Sonny not saying it. And I don't think Sonny was doing it intentionally. I think Sonny was just trying to benefit the warband. Like, yo, we'll get our stuff real quick. And which is exactly what you would want to do. It's just like a guild. You want to take care of your guild first. I don't know. There's too many people that cry about shit in the game. It doesn't make any sense. There was something going on with no one knowing what was happening, and I don't know if that was Sonny's intent or not. It like again the whole issue with Sonny and other people on the server. It didn't bother me at all because I wasn't participating anyway, so it didn't affect me. I'm not gonna say nothing about Sonny because I didn't even know what Sonny was doing nor cared. I didn't care, right? Because I wasn't participating. But if you participate in that, you should be giving up your fuel. Like when Sonny does the fuel runs. I went over to one day and there was only like 3 or 4 people there. And then Sonny left because there wasn't enough bodies. But when Sonny was running the bigger ones, everybody was dropping their. Some people wouldn't. Some people would be a dick and run away after they got their stuff because the fuel could be important to them for their trucks or whatever else they're doing. I don't know. But if I wanted to participate in the Prime Wars, then I gave Sonny my stuff. It was that simple. Like you want to participate in the Prime Wars? Why should you just be a leech? Why not help contribute to it, right? And then it gets better for everybody. Yeah, yeah. I don't join war bands and hives because of my personality. My personality, like even if you hear me talking, it sounds like I'm being aggressive. I'm really not. I'm just from Philadelphia and Philly. This is how we talk. So I speak this way like with passion and a lot of expression to myself. Like if you see me right now, I use my hands a lot when I'm talking. So that's why I'm not moving because my hands are just like waving wildly in the air as I'm speaking. Anyway, so I don't join hives and war bands because if there's egos, somebody got an ego or some kind of weird, like everybody always wants to bring politics or social arguments and shit into a game. And I don't like that stuff, right? You're entitled to feel the way that you want to feel and all that stuff. But so I won't join a hive or a war band because
a lot of people don't think like me. When I ran my guild, and I ran my guild for almost 20 years, no shit. That guild was strong because everybody within that guild, we all thought the same. We all had the same attitudes. We all talk shit, stuff like that. You know, it was when gaming was new and first-person shooters were just brand new. So we helped invent all that lingo that everybody else is fucking saying now. You know, like spawn camping and all that stuff. We literally were involved in the creation of saying spawn camping. Like literally. I remember the first time we ever said spawn camping. You know, we had gamer etiquette and all kinds of other shit. Things are just crazy now, and people get too involved. They want to bring the outside world into gaming, and I think that's really bad. I really do. I mean, I have my opinions about shit. Don't get it twisted. But if you're in a video game, even for the streaming part, like people think I care about the streaming shit. I don't give a shit about the streaming stuff. I do this because I want to. If nobody watches, I don't care. I'm not trying to pull views. Literally, I'm not. If you view it because you enjoy whatever I'm doing, I appreciate it. And I'm going to show you the love for it. I'm going to tell you thank you and all. But I'm not asking for donations. I'm not asking for subscriptions. I do this because I want to. If you pull a bunch of outside bullshit into your gaming from the real world, you're just hurting your gaming. It's literally called a game for a reason. Games are meant to have fun. Not all that other bullshit. Me and friggin' Void got into it on some dumb shit. Because his politics is a little twisted. I'm gonna say it just like that. His politics are all the way onto the left-hand side. I'm a centralist. I don't care about the right or the left. I just care about what's best for us. That's it. So he had said something I disagreed with, and he's the type of person that wants to continue to like jump on it. Yeah, yes, that's you. Exactly. Because no one took it seriously. We were playing a video game. That's why. You could have an opinion. But you were playing a video game, right? Like, so you knew what you were doing. You separated the two. Now it's not separate. It's all become part of the game. They even do that shit in game. Set up whole communities based around that bullshit. Like, come on, man. Quit with all that. I don't even know what you look like behind a video game. I don't know if you're a boy or a girl or whatever you want to call yourself, and I don't care. I just want to play the game. If you're cool, I don't care what you are. You're cool. I don't look at age as an issue in video gaming because I've had 13-year-olds that were smarter than 30-year-olds that I taught to. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, what do I care how old a person? I'm not going to treat him like a child just because I'm in a video game. He's in a video game. I'm going to treat him like I treat every other character in the video game, the same. It's really become a problem for me. I try to find video games where you don't have that shit going on, where you don't have a lot of political or religious or social issues being talked about in chat, because it's really not. That's not what the game's for. The game is to have fun. That's what a game is. Again, you can have an opinion, but you separate it. You know that there's the game shit, and you know that there's the real life shit, and you know the difference between the two. And people have opinions, and nobody gets upset. Yep, you're 100% right. I agree. Yeah, now you can't joke about anything now. You can't say shit no more. Can't joke about nothing. Nope. We used to say a whole lot of stuff, right? We used to use terminology that is you could not say nowadays. But where I come from, we talk like that literally to each other in real life. So I never changed the way that I speak or act when I'm online. You know, I served in the military. I did a lot of stuff in my life. I've been all over the world. I've seen different cultures. I've been in probably 100 different countries with no issues. I'm not. When I go on vacation and I went overseas, I go over there with the attitude I'm a visitor, and I try to conform to the environment that I'm in, not the other way around. I don't go over there with my fucking American attitude and start making demands in other people's countries. I go over there and I try to assimilate as much as I can into that culture, because why am I over there? I'm over there to learn and enjoy the culture of the place that I'm at. Why would I just bring all that American bullshit with me? Yeah. I'm just different. I try to respect everybody, and I try to let everybody have their life. I'm definitely a live and let live person. You do you. I do me. We can communicate with each other. Go have a beer. But if you start bringing up shit, social issues or political issues or religious issues, and you ask me my opinion and I give it to you and you get upset, then you're the person who has the problem, not me. You can't force your beliefs on me, and I can't force my beliefs on you. It's that simple. I don't do that. I don't care. I just want to have fun. And I always get caught up in these games nowadays into some bullshit like me and Void. I'm kind of upset that me and Void had that, because me and Void were cool with each other, and I'm upset that me and him had that problem. But his political view on something was so far out there, and I'm not gonna sugar. It was out there. And I was like, dude, that don't even make, like, you're not even making no sense, you know? I was talking about the common sense of cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west, and being able to read a map, because if the world went to shit tomorrow, most of these kids growing up now can't even tell you the street that they live next to without looking on Google Maps. And I was like, that's a bad thing, because if something happens and you need to know your directions, you're not going to know where you're going. Like, just think if the world went to shit and we had some kind of like the Walking Dead moment. Yeah, there's no zombies. It's never going to happen. But just say we had something like that happen where the world went to shit. You're running from all the chaos that's going on, but you don't know the direction that you're running. So you don't know what you're running into. You could be running into a section of the town that you live in that you shouldn't be running into because of all the bullshit that goes on with neighborhoods, right? Next thing you know, you got to face this drama you wouldn't have had you known, hey, I don't want to go this way because there might be some problems. Yeah. That is the truth. And I don't want to knock it, because they know a lot of other shit that, you know, they're better in a lot of the technological stuff than we were when we were kids, of course, because, you know, but I grew up in the internet era, so I know everything they do. And then I also know the other shit because I grew up before the internet also. So, I mean, literally, I know all that. Not having the skills to take care of yourself and then coming into a video game and arguing it, that's your argument. Like, you wanted to present that to me, and I responded to it because you asked me, and then you got upset because I responded to it. I don't like that. Like, don't ask me that kind of stuff. If I say, look, I don't care what religion you practice. I don't care about your political views. I don't care about your sexual orientation. I don't care about none of that shit. Don't bring it to the table then. Just let's have fun in the game. I like playing with you in the game. So let's just have fun, because that's what the game is for. It's called a game. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to bring in other shit into the conversation. So when he did, he didn't like what he heard. And I was like, and I tried. I really did. I'm a very straightforward person. So it's right or wrong, you know, left or right, up and down. That's how I feel, right? But I don't project that on anybody else. My religion, I don't project that on anybody else. I don't tell anybody what they got to believe. None of that shit. As long as you leave me alone and don't involve me in that bullshit, then I won't involve you in my bullshit, and we can just have fun together. He didn't want that, so he had a falling out. And what he does is, we're on Discord, we're talking, and I have it all. It's on stream, the whole conversation. So we're talking, and he got upset, and he left Discord and blocked me and all this other stuff. And I'm like, wait a second, aren't you a person who wants to discuss issues? Why would you do that then? You didn't like what you heard, so you run away from it then. How do you work anything out if that's what you do and you automatically cut everybody off? Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. Like, I wasn't trying to just, I only used the street analogy as a thing of like, a lot of people don't know the street that they live next to, right? Because it's just easy for us now. And why not? We're going to use there's nothing wrong with technology. We're going to use it. The problem is that if technology fails, and ours is susceptible to things like radiation, solar flares, things like that, it's easy to knock out our infrastructures and go back to the dark ages. It's not hard at all. And if we do that, how are people going to get around? Well, paper maps, things like that. The funny thing is when we were talking about that, he said I was a Boy Scout. And I'm like, and what does that mean? Like, you were a Boy Scout. He goes, well, they taught us how to read maps. Yeah, when you were 12? Like, do you know how to read a map now? And he doesn't. He doesn't know how to read a map now. So What bringing up the Boy Scout? The Boy Scouts also told you how to make a fire and how to knit and how to sew and how to take care of. But can you do any of that stuff now? No, you did that when you were younger. You weren't a Boy Scout all your life. You're still not a Boy Scout. You're not a Boy Scout now. You know, you're not carrying that stuff over into the real world because you started doing other stuff. And he's like, yeah, but you know, the internet taught me hand-eye coordination. It's like, what is that for? What useful thing does that hand-eye coordination have in the real world except for maybe gaming, right? Being able to game faster, being able to respond to a situation within game faster. I was like, but in the real world, how fast is that hand-eye coordination going to help you if someone tries to slap you? You really think you're going to be able to stop it with them little squiggly-ass arms, you know? Because you're just gaming all the time and you're not doing anything else? Hey, none of that matters. That's not an accomplishment. And he was talking about gaming as a sport. And I said, gaming is not a sport. You're missing the whole thing. It's a game. It's not a sport. There's nothing hard about playing a game. Nothing. You may not be the best at it, but it's not a sport. It's a game. You call Monopoly a fucking sport? Monopoly's a game. It's not a sport. The same thing with gaming. Yeah, they made esports and all that other bullshit for competitions, but it's really not a sport. It's a game. Now, I played baseball because I enjoyed the game of baseball, not the sport of baseball. Even though they call it a sport, it's a game. It's meant to have fun. It's meant to teach you something. Video games can do that too, but come on. We're talking two different things. And that's what I was trying to tell him. Like, that's two separate situations. You know, I can acknowledge that people can call it a sport and can all this other stuff, but I'm never going to call it a sport. Why does that bother you so much that I don't want to call a video game a sport? It's a video game. I don't play this for sports. If I want to play a sport, I go out and play basketball or baseball or football. You know? I don't do this for that. I do this as a stress reliever. I play games to relieve my stress. Not to get more. You just creating like, hey, why am I coming into a video game to get rid of my stress, and then he's creating more stress for me because now I got to argue with somebody that I actually like as a person, right? But didn't like some of his politics and his social shit but it was none of my business. He has to live that life, right? And that's how I feel. Like you got to worry about that, not me. Why are you putting that shit on me? I'm not doing it to you. I'm not making you feel uncomfortable. You know, you're making me feel uncomfortable having to try and agree with you because I like you. I don't want to agree with you on that situation, whether I like you or not, because I think you're wrong. But why even talk about it then? Just let it go and let's move on and play the game. Have fun. Yeah, but I wouldn't even mind if you called soccer a sport, right? Like, I wouldn't even care. But when you turn something into more of a business, like one of my favorite streamers is a guy named Posty, right? I really like him. I think he cheats. I gotta be honest with you. I've seen some sketchy shit with him in Rust, but I do like his gaming. Like I do like how he plays. I don't think he I don't know. I think there's some iffy, questionable shit there. I don't want to say that he cheats, and I don't want to say that he doesn't. I just want to be like, okay, he's a decent streamer. I like his content, you know, when he's out killing people or he's doing something. But for him, streaming Rust is a chore. It literally is. He used to love the game. He doesn't love the game anymore. He makes that very clear every time he streams. He tried to play other games like Tarkov, and this is how I have a problem with streamers. If you're a streamer, do not limit yourself to one game. Because if you build your audience only in one game and then you go to play something else because you get bored with that game, your audience will not follow you. It won't follow you. They came there for the game, not you. They came there for the game. They just enjoy the content that you have, but they're really there for the game. So he went and tried to play other games, and his viewership would drop by like 3/4. Like literally, he would lose 75% of his audience on these other videos. So he had to go back to making Rust videos again. And while making these Rust videos, that's his income. He does this full time as his income. He has no other job. So one day he was on stream and he says, he's talking shit to his viewers all the time. He does. He talks shit to them. Fuck you and all this other stuff. And I'm like, wow, dude, like if this is a job to you, that's the wrong way of going about handling your job. But he goes, I need more viewers. He starts this subscription thing in it, or membership thing. You know, I need this amount of members, blah blah blah. Membership countdown or a count up to members. And he starts saying, you know, you can get this and this and this. He's doing it for the money so he can pay his bills. It's become a job to him, and he hates his job. He does. He hates his job. He hates playing Rust. He finds no enjoyment in it anymore after, 5-6 years of playing it? There's no enjoyment for him anymore in the game. It's all the same, and he says that all the time. And I don't have no pity for him because he dug himself into that hole. He got popular on one game, and that's it. And now he's got to face that. He's got to deal with that, the consequences of that. And I don't do that. I play whatever game I want to play at the time, but I'll switch to another game. And if the viewers follow me, they follow me. If they don't, they don't. I don't care because I do not stream for views or donations at all. You don't hear me asking people to do it. I don't promote it in my channel. I don't do any of that stuff. If somebody wants to do those things, I appreciate it, but I don't care. My content is free. I'm never going to charge for it, and it's not for everybody anyway. I literally started streaming because I lived in Philadelphia all my life except for when I was in the service. I moved out to California to take care of my aging mother, which I'm out here now in Cali taking care of my mother, and my family back east and friends back east come on my stream to see what I'm doing and we could talk. And that's all I started it for. Other than that, I don't stream for any of that. I never tried to. I get people coming on all the time asking me to buy this, buy that, get graphics and all that. I don't care about it. I do all that stuff myself. I mean, I use Streamlabs. It's so easy. I get free templates. I add my own graphics to those templates if I want to. There's no copyright on it, so I don't have to worry about somebody screaming and hollering about it. And then I just stream the content I want to stream. I'll kill my own viewership if somebody's on here talking shit and doesn't like what I'm doing. I'll be like, it don't matter what you like. I'm not streaming for you. I'm streaming for me. And as long as you can maintain that mentality, right? One, you'll never have the stress of having to worry about making money off of your streaming, which that's not where I get my money from. But even if I did, I'm not stressing that. And two, real people who understand that you really don't give a fuck and you're just doing it because you enjoy it, they'll gravitate towards that because then you'll just be playing because you like to play. I mean, I like to talk shit online. I'll talk shit. I'll talk about the game while I'm playing it the whole time and maybe some of the problems that I see or maybe some things that I would change. But other than that, that's what I'm talking about. I don't care about your political views. I don't care about all that shit. Don't bring that to my stream. Don't bring that to my video game. None of that. I don't have to listen to it. And that's why I want to get my own servers in this game if they do. I'm going to get 2 servers. I'm going to run both PvP, PvE. I do PvP, but I don't care for the bullying part of the PvP that I see sometimes. So I prefer to play PvE just because I'm trying to relax. If I want to really blow off some steam, I'll just go play Call of Duty or some stupid shit. You know. But I want to chill and relax. I want a game like this. I don't have to worry about someone coming up, killing me, taking all my stuff, destroying my base that I spent, a month on building, getting it where I needed to go. Just play. Anyway, enough of that. I want to talk more about the game. We should be talking about the game anyway since I'm playing it. All that other shit. This is another problem that I think in the game. This right here. All right. I'm getting more than I could ever possibly turn into gas. Right? I'm getting more. Yeah, all topics are good, but I'm saying like in a video game, you really don't want all the bullshit flowing into your video game. Especially if you're not that. If you like discussing all that stuff, that's cool. Right? If that's who you are, then of course you're going to. I mean, but then you might as well just make a just chatting channel, right? Like a just chatting thing. But if you're playing a game, a lot of people don't want to hear all that other bullshit. Just they're watching you because of the game you're playing. Anyway, this right here, I get more of this than I can actually refine, which is really bad. This is really bad. And I think that's what we were talking about earlier, like the refining process. They gotta they got to streamline the refining process to either let us get more super refineries and regular refineries, or speed up the process so that it matches our input. So our output matches our input, right? So as much as we put in, say it takes an hour for 1,000 to come through here. It should only take an hour for me to burn it up there. That's how you keep the game flowing properly. Like, you keep those things flowing properly. Because at some point, all these are going to be full, and I'm still going to have 1,000 sitting up in there because of how long it takes. Yeah. That's crazy, dude. See? Yeah, another 3K sitting. That's crazy. That's crazy. There's nothing you can do with it. It just sits there until you get an opportunity to be able to do it. I mean, in your war band, though, everybody, like, whoever can make the refineries should have made them in every one of your war band bases, so that, and you guys should be able to share all of those resources amongst each other, so that you can, well, at least go over and be able to put stuff in the refineries, right? So you can just start. You'll have so much fuel, it'll be crazy. The fact that Sonny had to run the refineries was, especially with a war band where you're, how much is a war band now? How many people? 50, 60 or some shit like that? Something weird? Maybe. Not sure. But with that many people and that many refineries going, you should never have to run those other black fell sites and stuff like that. You shouldn't have to run those. I mean, maybe initially just to build up a stockpile, but then after that, your flow should be constant. It should be 100%. He said he crafted a whisper, so now what? Has Sonny been on lately? Because every time I come on, I never see Sonny on. I just don't see him. Wait, am I done all this? I did everything. Yeah, I'm good for now. I can go back over on my other account. Oh, that's weird. Because I like to do the Primal Wars. I like to do the wars because I get that, the StarCon for the machine, and I'm constantly trying to like upgrade my stuff. Without that, I have a hard time getting any of that. It's very hard to get that, even because I've done most of the accomplishments and achievements and all. And I don't have much room to grab any of that stuff from. It's the only real way it's the easiest way to make it. But I think it resets every so often, and you can only get so much out of it before it resets to Primal Wars, I think. I'm not 100% sure how the Primal Wars run. I just try to participate when I can. I don't get too much into the Primal Wars stuff because that seems like it seems like a headache for Sonny to have to organize all that all the time. It does. It really seems like it. I would go nuts trying to do that for everybody. Like, nah, no thank you. I don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. I gotta blow my nose real quick, sorry. Yeah, exactly. Same here. That's how I am. I'd rather just follow somebody. Go ahead, you lead. I mean, I was a leader in a guild for almost 20 years, literally, when our guild finally decided, because we all grew up. Everybody grew up, so, the guild started getting smaller and smaller as time went by. And then eventually it was just at a point where it was only like 8 or 9 of us that were still there playing games. And we weren't even playing the same games, so there was no sense in keeping it going. So now I just follow people. Just tell me what you need me to do and I'll go do it. I'm good with that. I don't have an ego either. I don't need to be a leader. I don't care who's number 1, who's number 2. It doesn't bother me.
should do my farming now and just get it done with. But I don't need mushrooms right now, and that's the problem. And I don't need none of this yet, and that's the problem.
Yeah, no, seriously, bro. I do not have an ego at all. I don't care. I know what I'm capable of. I know what I've done in my life. I know that I'm better at some things than other people, but I don't have to. I don't have to use that against them, and I don't have to tell even. I don't even have to present that as something as an. That's an ego. Somebody who wants to be recognized, right? I don't care about recognition. I do shit because I like it, not because I want recognition from it. I mean, if you got to go through the world and do shit like, if you do something for somebody, say if like in the game I gave you something and I'm expecting a thank you from you, and you don't say thank you, say in chat, right after I do something for you, and I go, well, I'll never do something, and now I'm in chat going, well, I'm never going to do shit for you anymore because you didn't say thank you. Well, why'd I do it for you in the first place if I wanted to thank you? That's bullshit. Don't do it then. If you're expecting something for what you do, it's nice if you get a thank you, but it shouldn't be why you do it. You know what I mean? That shouldn't be the reason why. You should do it because you want to. So I don't cater to egos either. If somebody got an ego, I cut them short real quick. I'll tell them too, like, you got a fucking ego, I don't like you. Because in real life, I don't like people like that. And I tell people real quick. I'm very honest and open. I'll tell somebody real fast, I don't like you. I don't like you. I worked side by side with a guy for 15 years. He never knew I didn't like him until we sat down in a meeting one time at my union. And he was like, I thought you liked me. And I was like, I never liked you. I was like, I just work with you. I don't like you. You're a dickhead. You know? But it's okay. Because I can still work with you because not a problem. But you're a dickhead. I can never get monetized in my videos or in my streams. I do way too much cursing. This man just called somebody a dickhead out of nowhere. Anyway, yeah, that's how I am. Like, I'm straightforward. I'm a straight shooter. You got an ego, stay away from me because I'm not even trying to mess with you. If your whole purpose is coming in the game is to be the most recognized player in the game, I'm not gonna show you no love. I mean, I might talk to you if you're cool, if that, you know, but if that's your intention to get everybody to say hi to you all the time, every time you say hi, then I don't want to be around you because you want too much attention. I'm trying to play a game. I ain't got that much attention to give you. You're not my girlfriend. Not trying to impress you. What's this? What's the point of buying the skins? Will it transfer to global release? That's the thing with them coins. You get, if you purchase that armor, you get those coins on release. But it only applies to the account. So you see I have multiple accounts or multiple characters. But I have multiple characters who have them coins on each of them. It's only going to apply to your account because the database gets wiped, right? So it's those coins are tied to your account, not character. Everything gets wiped. So you can't have 5 characters where you build up that currency, and then on release day you're gonna have 5 characters worth of coins on your new. Basically, it's going to be a new account when the release comes. It's not going to be the same. Your account's going to be scratch that. It's not going to be a new account for us who played beta. It's going to be our account, but our characters are all going to be new again. So you start off with your like one character and shit like that. I read that wrong. Yes, I agree 100% with the. If you buy an item on one character, it should be account bound and be able to be bought on all the other characters that you create. Yep, I agree 100%. But yeah, they were very specific about that. A lot of people keep misinterpreting that. A guy telling me no, it would apply to all characters. And I'm like, no, it don't. It doesn't apply to all characters, because on release you're not going to have a character. You have to create a character again and start from scratch. The database won't be there for them attached to a character. Only your account information is going to be there, and that's the only thing that they're holding over is your account information, nothing else. And he was like, oh, whatever, I heard. I'm like, dude, I was like, how can that even possibly be? If they delete all the characters, how would they know which character had what on it? How? It's attached to your account, not your character. Like, they're not going to give out that many coins for free. They're just not going to do it. It doesn't make any sense. Like, use your head, common sense. I'm telling you, people in this game kill me, man, because they can say something directly to us, and somebody will take that and twist it up and interpret it in a completely different light, and you'll be like, what? Is that what you're reading? It was just like with the... Remember when they turned around and they were talking about how many accounts were going to be able to be made on the first day? 150,000, right? That 150,000 applied to new accounts. It wouldn't apply to the accounts that were already there, because they very clearly made a distinction. Even if there was 150,000 accounts created that day, or 150,000 people created a character that day, anybody who was in the other beta would be able to come in. So that would be 150,001. If they were only limiting to 150,000, they wouldn't and it included beta, then they wouldn't say, well, if you came in after the registration, you still get to go in as long as you come in by this date. None of that would have been said. It doesn't make any sense. It's completely nonsensical. And the guy was arguing with me in Discord, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to talk about it anymore, because you don't know what the fuck you just read, and you're telling people the wrong shit. It has nothing to do with that. Read what it says. It clearly says 150,000 characters created, right? But any player that was in beta 2 can still come in after that. So if your cutoff is 150,000 characters, and say 10,000 people from the beta didn't sign up that day where the cutoff was and decided to play the next day, is it 150,000 or is it now 160,000? And does that 100? He was trying to say the 150,000 applied to beta players too, and no, it doesn't, because if it did apply to beta players and new players, right, together, that's what he's trying to say, then why would they let me join after that 150,000 mark was reached and I'm a beta player? They're clearly saying I could still join. So it don't make sense what you're saying. I kept telling them. It doesn't include beta players. It was only new characters created. But the beta players are excluded from that. And he just kept going on and on and on. And they finally made a distinction. They said they didn't limit it then. At the last second, they were like, we're not limiting, just create the character by this time or date, and it's fine. Which is what they should have done in the first place. There shouldn't have been a number attached to that, because it got confusing when you said, oh, 150,000, but anybody who played the beta can join after that. Like, what? Then it's not 150,000. It's 150,001, 150,002, so on and so forth. Crazy. Right. It did. It did say that. But the guy in the Discord was getting like the Discord moderators were not telling him this. They weren't even interfering in it. And they were allowing him to argue and literally talk to people like shit in Discord. He was doing it to everybody. When he tried to do it to me, I checked him instantly. I let him know right away. Like, you're not doing what you just did to that guy. You're not going to talk shit and think you're going to get away with it. So I went back and forth with him for a little bit in the chat. And then I finally just said, you know what? When somebody won't see the obvious, right, there's no sense in arguing with them because they're just being stubborn to be stubborn then at that point. Even if they know that they're wrong, they're not going to admit they're wrong. And you can't argue with a person like that. You might as well just give up, and avoid it altogether because it just, you're wasting your breath on somebody like that. They're not worth your time. All right, let's see. I did all these, right? Except for this one. Okay. Yeah. I think I did all these. Damn, 2 of 5's already done this whole time. Wow, that's crazy. It's like acid overload. I don't have as many as I do like the other ones, and I'm kind of glad, so I don't have to really go nuts with sulfur farming. But again, I don't even know why I'm doing this because I'm gonna have more acid than I actually need or can use. So. It's this struggle. I don't think it's balanced correctly. It's just struggle to get to the end game, and then once you're there, you're not spending as much on acid or on your stardust, so you're getting more than what you actually need. And then you're just selling the excess off, not because you actually need anything, just to sell it off. I would love to see the community, when it goes live, be able to get together and actually... Damn, I just did that one. And actually, like, create all the expertise items, like all the sickles and backpacks and everything else, trying to help out as many people as they can from the beginning. This way, no one's struggling.
Someone was detected at your front door.
Yeah, somebody's detected at my front door. Yeah. All right, I think that's it. Yep. That's it. Yeah, I leave this one blank just in case I need to create stuff that I need. On the other one, I run it just because I wanted more acid, but here, nah, I don't need it that much. Yeah, no, I get it with the bullets, right? That makes sense. But what I'm saying is with that little farm right there, even if I make 10K bullets, it's never going to use that much acid, right? So I wind up building a surplus of acid at the end game, which kills... One, the economy, it's going to kill the economy because initially it was a 10K sulfur to 1K acid trade on here, and now it's dropping down to where people are doing it for 5K sulfur for 1K acid, right? Because it's just an excess of acid and people don't really need it. There's got to be a balancing going on for people. I don't even have these two running because you can't put acid in them. You can only put fuel, and I don't really care about that. I don't have no other fuel things running, so like I can't get fuel out of the ground here, any of the fuel, so I don't even attempt to. I tried like putting it inside my base to see if I would get crude, and it just gives me polluted water. I didn't even need to put it over in the water part for me to get it. I could have put it like right there and got it. You see, almost all this time on both of my characters, I'm just running around my base the whole time trying to organize. It's crazy. So much. I'm definitely going to set up a farming character, though, because I think that, especially if I can get it set up pretty quickly, like in the beginning, as fast as possible on one of the characters. The faster I can get the farm up, the more benefit I can get from the stuff that I produce, and the easier that my other characters will have when they're leveling. So if I might do a 3 or 4 character account kind of thing in order to make sure that I have everything that I need. I'll keep track of what the expertise is, so that the next character doesn't have the exact same expertise in anything, and just switch between account. That it's going to be a little hard. It'll be a little difficult eventually because you'll wind up spending most of the day just running stuff through your characters. But it'll also help like my main character, which is going to be the one that's doing the normal content through the game, get through the game a lot faster. If I share everything, they can just borrow stuff off of my main account too. I'll try it. If it doesn't work, I'll stop running the accounts. But I at least want 3 accounts to where I can get 3 different sets of expertise. Well, Void, if you feel like you're not getting it, then they did nerf it. You can't feel like it. If you're not getting it, it's nerfed. It's definitely nerfed. Like there's no getting around it. All right, on this character, I got it at level 50, but I had to restat one of my characters. On the other character that you saw me, I got my sulfur to acid at level 20. So it's definitely RNG, like when you're going to get it. You just got to hope that it flows. There may be a pattern to when the next slot will give you that based on what you picked in the previous slots. There might be a pattern to that. Like, so if you're working towards maybe like having your guns and having good defenses, maybe the gun thing will pop up sooner if you're working in that line through your expertise. You know what I'm saying? Like picking things that applies to that. I don't exactly know how the RNG works, but I know you can get it on different levels. But I think it's tied into what you pick previously and not just regular RNG. So I started going down that line trying to find the stuff that was going to benefit me the most in that area, and I wound up getting it at a level 20. So it was my fourth pick, because it's 5, 10, 15, 20. So the 4th pick. I wound up getting it right away. Some people get it. Yeah, 5 to 30. Right. I'm sorry. I didn't read that part that you just wrote. Yeah, 5 to 30. But on this character, I got it at the end. And I just happened to go into... I think I did away with my backpacks skill that I had. And that's where I got it at. So... Let me see. Where it is. See, mine is on a 5th pick. Right? 5th pick. But on my other one, you'll see it right here, I think. Or maybe even sooner. It might have been even sooner. My sulfur alchemy pick is up here in the other one. And then this is what I picked. And I think it had something to do with the way you go down in your picking. I don't know. I don't know. But it's just weird how it appears earlier for some and later for others. I was going to change this, but since I've run my resonators and I like that extra, star crumb I get, I kept this. And then at the end, this is like high, like I don't even need this. But you get an extra generator off of it, so that was why I got it. And it's not even an extra hydraulic generator, you just get an extra generator. So that's why I picked this. Even though I would love to reset this and probably pick something else. I should try it. Should reset this and see what's there. I don't think there's anything good on that last one, though. I think that's why I picked this. Let me see. Do I have... Yeah. I'm gonna check. Oh, right here. That's what I need. Guess what? Smelter right here. This is what you want. Crystal transformation. So you can get those crystals now without having to... Yeah, that's happening. There we go. Boom. Boom. Lovely. Now, I just don't know how it's done. Is it done through the smelter or is it done through... Let me see. Yeah, there you go. Look, platinum crystals. I can now take the stardust that I'm converting and turn it into platinum crystals. And the conversion rate's not bad. So look, 84 platinum crystals. I hope it's 84. You never have to go farm for these again. Never. Dan, that was a good pull. Oh, you can get beryllium crystals too. Look at this. And vanadiums. And iridiums. Wow. Come on. That's nasty. That's actually dirty. That's real dirty right there. That's like your ultimate line that you want to travel down in. Right? That's what you want. Because that produces everything you need. You get your crystals. You get your stardust, and you get your acid. And that's you don't have to worry about insanity. And that was on my last one. And I never knew you could do this. This right here, I just found out. Yeah, I shit you not. I played all 3 betas, and I just found out yesterday that you can do this. You can make crystals. I was so mad when I found out because I was like, I would have picked that. Well, mine was my last pick. So you saw that I had the hydraulic generators. If you have that one, try and reset that one and see if it falls in there. I don't want to tell you to do that because, again, I think it's RNG. But it may be in there. And if it is, you get lucky and bam, you're set. You ain't got to worry about shit. You can upgrade everything with no problem. And since I make stardust with the gas, all I got to do... I mean, I can run the roads and make 500 stardust in a run, right? I mean, not stardust, gas. And then I can just keep doing that. I could run the roads once a day, easy. Wow, come on. That's crazy. I didn't even know you could do that. That's so unfair. Oh, it takes 31 minutes, though. Look at that. Oh, shit. The good thing I do like, though, is people will say split it up so it's faster, and that's fine. But you don't really need it to be faster unless you really need, unless you really need it. Because you can come over here after 20 minutes and just grab whatever's in there and use that. Ah, that's sad. I did on this because I didn't use it for anything. I had wound up falling in line with my account, so I didn't need to use any of the resets. So I probably still have like one or two more resets I could do, but I'm not going to. I got everything where I need it now. What? Yeah, definitely. Yo, if you could do it, if they keep the pricing low, right? Or even if it does, I hope and I pray that it comes out free and you can create multiple accounts, but definitely run at least 3 accounts so you can get into those things that you need to get into. And then you just share it with your other accounts. Create your own little hive, build your base in like a fort setting, like in a circle setting. So your other 2 characters have them like facing you, but with their bases in a circle. See if you can't get it real close, like right on top of each other. So you got a central point. Maybe you can, I don't know. Maybe don't let the resonators count for everybody or whatever, and you can put one resonator in the middle, and then have all your guns shooting everything that comes in. That would be awesome. We used to be able to do that, I think. Yeah, we did. We used to be able to do that with the Hive. We still might be able to. I just never tested it. Nor did I want to be honest with you. I built my base and I was like, I'm good with it. But if you can build another base with your Hive, man, just think of the protection you can have and how much power you can get off of that. But you can do it. You can supplement power through your vehicles too, because you can put biomass generators on those and just have them and just run them over to your building, and it counts towards your power. And as long as you keep it in the garage, you'll never run out of power. That echo is killing me. Where is that echo coming from? I got an echo now. So this one's my stamina, which I like. This is max stam too. What? Oh, because one's made by Chefosaurus and the other's not. Yeah, that's fine. I can leave that there. That's good. This one is what? Get over there. These are okay. That's okay. Yep, exactly. That's how you want to do it. I mean, you'll probably dedicate more time then to just going in and out of your bases with shit, right? Because running 3 characters, I mean, you see one character just trying to handle your farm takes an hour or 2 trying to get all that organized. So if you have 3 accounts that are all doing similar things where you gotta like add materials, or you can just centralize. You can just have one main character doing all your farming for sulfur, for the other character that uses it, and that's where you get your acid from. And so you'll just be switching characters, but you won't be spending much time on all your characters trying to do, everything. Just have a centralized storage. Well, it is anyway. If you're in a hive and you're sharing, it's all centralized anyway. But I would literally I would build a building here. If you're looking, I'd build my building here. That would be my main. Then I'd build a building here for the hive, wherever my border touches, and one over here for my hive. I would put a central building, like as close to the edge as I can, and put all of my storage for all 3 bases right in there, so that either character can just go into here and grab all the storage. But then that might not work either, though. Yeah, that might not work, because then will it use storage from other areas for other accounts? I don't know. I still would build my bases like that so they're all facing each other. I'll find out where the spawn comes in from my resonator, and that's the direction in which I'll build the bases. Yeah, but can you use the? That's what I'm asking. Can you use the high? That's really what I was going for. Can you centralize into a hive storage and then that, like, you know how you can craft shit without actually going in your storage? Will that work for everybody within the hive? Can you craft and it pulls from that central storage? Otherwise, each character, or at least 2 of the characters that you create, would have to go to the storage and actually pull that material out in order to craft. Not like it would be a big deal. Probably a lot smarter. But if you can utilize each other's storages, like a central storage, that would be great if you're in a hive. So just say your one storage over in your one base doesn't have enough materials, but it'll pull from the other base because you're in a hive. Okay. Yeah. All right. What dumb shit is going on over here? What are you shooting at? And why? Piss Void off. He really is got me blocked, so this will make him angry. Now I'm just being a dickhead. I gotta figure out something to do here. I'm getting bored. I should hit this because I need to. Hello, bunny rabbit. I hate how you get stuck on those cars. That's kind of weird. That's a quest. I remember that. The other one's over there.
Don't just stand around talking. Get in there.
And there's been something going on with the loot in the loot pickups. You'll go up to a piece of loot to grab it, and it'll show you the name, and then when you go to grab it, you just see the circle, and you can't grab the loot. So if you go and pick up another piece of loot, it resets that, and then you can pick it up again. Weird glitch that was going on.
Did you hear that?
Did you hear that? Thanks for the file, bro. Appreciate it.
Did you hear that?
And if you're watching when the game comes out, and I get those, and we're letting buy our, you know, like the personal servers or whatever they are. Maybe not so much personal, but they let us buy servers that we can run. They still do the updating and stuff like that. Then you're more than welcome to come over and play on that server if you know, if you care to. I mean, it's up to you.
I hope I'm mistaken.
I don't think they're going to be run like Rust servers do. I don't think you're going to have that kind of control over a server. Because again, if the company's going to try and make money, personal servers are not going to generate enough cash. Although over at Rust, you know, there's 20, 30,000 servers over there in just the modded servers. So, and you're talking $15 a server. Hey, look at that. Not what I needed, but. Yeah, if they well, they said they're going to do that. That's what they said they're going to do. But I don't know how true it is, because it might be. I mean, if they're just going for straight money, then doing it don't make any sense. If they give you too much control over it, because they'll lose the ability to get, you know, currency from the server. Except for like if you purchase through them, but everything would have to be run through them. I mean, everything. Having it set up like Rust. I don't know if these server companies pay a nominal fee to host Rust servers. They may. But there's going to have to be a way for them to make money, is what I'm saying. Especially if they use, like Division 2 don't have private servers, and this is set up very similar to Division 2 with Game Pass and all that other stuff. So I want to know how they would be able to set it up. Might be a little difficult. Yeah, but if you notice, I mean, I just saw your other comment about following. I don't worry about that kind of stuff. You're watching my content. I appreciate the fact that you're even paying attention to my shit. And you didn't hear me once go, hey, like and follow my content. Because I don't do that. Just don't do it. Here it is. And I didn't go through that one. Look at that. I hope they do the sell and rent servers. That would be. I know, again, I know they said it. They said it clear as day in their video, but that may change. I hope not. I hope I can purchase the servers because I just don't want to get on a shitty server where people aren't cooperating and there's a lot of like trolls and dickheads on. Oh, really? I didn't see that. Oh, right. You just made my day, man. Seriously. Like, I'm definitely getting servers. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. What was that? Somebody shooting at me. Is that somebody shooting at me, or was that the beach making a noise? No. Is that you? Is that you? I'm like, I knew somebody was shooting at me. If they published it, it's got to be legit because I can't see them not. I can't see them publishing that just on their own without it being legit. I can't believe I didn't do this little section. That's my sulfur farm right there. I definitely should have saw this over here. I did it on the other account, but not this one. Well, on my other two accounts. Radio. Oh, Uncle J, you know I can't live without my radio. Don't.
Don't just stand around gawking. Get in there!
Everything's squishy. Man, my own servers, 3 to 4 characters I can create with ease. Shit, that gives me plenty of gaming time just to enjoy myself with no issues. Having no drama, people telling you what to do. That's the type of gaming I like. Who's that thing chasing? Is it you they're chasing? Trying to kill somebody. Let's see. Yeah, see, here you go. This is a building that's on the map. Nobody's going to. Nobody goes to see what it is. Or a lot of people wouldn't even come over here to explore this. This is what I was talking about earlier, where people just steamrolling content and then not even stressing the excess content that you got on the map. Then complaining about there not being enough content. I might get something out of this. A new decoration or something for my base. These guards are funny though, because they'll shoot at a rabbit. Cracks me up. They'll chase a rabbit down with like 20 guards. Damn, I ain't got to worry about repairs ever on my armor again. I just got to get on my other account. I got to get that on my other account. Dang. That would be perfect. I'm definitely paying attention the next time to everything. I'm going to write down every single, like when I go into my, I'm literally going to have it. I'm going to create my own spreadsheet of it. Every single branch that you go into, what 4 offers were in them. This way, and what level it was in which the offers were made. This way I can go back. Well, if I do a spreadsheet, it'll be there. A little chart. Or I'm just going to write it the fuck down, one or the other. But then I can go back in on each of my characters and change something with the resets and not waste the resets trying to find out where it is. That's why I love betas, man. We're going to get into the game where we're going to know how to do most of the stuff in the game. We're going to have an advantage over all the new players buying it. And I'll take my time in the gameplay. Like, I'm not going to rush any areas. I'm going to take it nice and slow. So I don't have to, like, play catch-up trying to get materials in the background. I'll grab this while I'm here. I think I'll run the roads a little bit. This way I don't run out of stardust. Now you know where I'm at in game, and you also know that I can do that stuff with the crystals. If you want that done, just bring your materials over, and I'll make you whatever you have in crystals for that. So what do you need? You need stardust, and what is it? I forget. I'll have to go and look at it when I get back. This way you'll never have to worry about them crystals. Yeah, it's stardust and... Oh, isn't it stardust and tungsten ore, right? Stardust and tungsten ore. Then I'll just pop them in my furnace. With you, I'll spread them out so it cooks faster. So this way you don't have to wait as long. I mean, you're on the server and I can do it, so I might as well do it for you. All right. I'll be on tomorrow and I'll start streaming. I usually stream when I get up. There's no set times for my stream, so I wish I could tell you exactly when. But as soon as I get on, if you're on, I'll get in touch with you. Yeah, but you would have to give me... I think you have to give me permission to use your furnace then at that point. I think I have that too, though, to be honest with you. On my furnaces. I got four bonuses to my furnaces. 4 of them. I'll have to check when I get back. But yeah, you'll never have to worry about crystals again, or repairs, or even upgrading. If you have the Stardust and you have the tungsten, I make it there. You get all your crystals. You don't even have to do that. I'm still going to do the run. I'm still going to do the Blackfell run, because you get other stuff there too. But at least you won't have to worry about the crystals. You won't be struggling with that. Because that is definitely a struggle at the end game. Yeah, I'll check when I get back to see if I have that or not. I think I do have it though, but I maybe I don't. So I know I got 4 bonuses on there. I got to just check to see what bonuses are on it. But if not, definitely I'll give you perms. You come over, you lay them down, and then we can just start crafting fucking all that stuff. We'll never have to worry about shit. I think the only thing in the game that can be difficult will be the Stardust because of the fuel you need. Not premium, but you need gas. I think that's the only hang up in the game about that. Because even running those extraction zones, you don't really get a lot of fuel in those. But if you got enough Stardust, then you never have to worry about crystals ever again. Especially since you're already calibrated all the way up and everything else. The only thing you'd have to do is more pulls on the wish machine so that you can upgrade everything else to the max stars. That's it. So I gotta get something to eat soon anyway. After this run, I think I'll grab some food and then I'll be back on. I probably won't be streaming when I come back on, but if you're definitely gonna want to do that tomorrow, as soon as I come on, I'll see if you're on. Just let me add you as well. Try and add me as a friend in game since you know my name in game. Or just wait for me to come on tomorrow and then hit me up if you're in game. Either way, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, no problem. Just do it tomorrow then when I come on. I try to play Valorant. Yeah, I'm old too. I try to play Valorant. I just don't. I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah. I mean, I guess if you got a bunch of friends playing, it could be fun. Yeah, but it's not something that I could do all the time. I'm not into those games. I like these style games right here, more or less. Way better. See, that's the thing. If you're going, when the game releases too, and you create 3 accounts, if you get a buddy that's playing with you all the time, to create 3 accounts too, between your 6 characters, you can have everything in game that you need, constantly, always. I mean, that would be insane. I'm sure there's people that are going to do that too, without a doubt. Valorant can be fun. Like, you get that little rush, you know what I mean? And you win, and you get that little rush. The problem with those games is it's just that. That's it, right? And if you're not trying to get the next, whatever it is, the next character or the next weapons or whatever, or the next characters, I think it is in Valorant, then it doesn't really appeal to you. I mean, I really liked the Division 2. Great game. Friggin' excellent game. Storyline wise, everything. Game is incredible. But that has an end game, and they have an end game loop. And although they have a lot more content for their end game loop, eventually, once you reach a certain point with your watch, your SHD level they call it, you're at the maximum stats that you can have, except for your except for like HP. Every level after the certain level in SHD, I think it's 1250. Every level after that only counts towards an HP bonus, and that's it. So you're not you're really. I think when you don't have nothing to strive for is what kills the game. There's nothing to work towards. That's why everybody loves getting the next weapon or the next armor. But then when you got everything you need, there's nothing else to move forward to, so you start to get bored. I think that's a lot of the problems with the end game content. I could be wrong. It's just, I mean, or I could be playing so different from other people that that's what I see as something that's wrong. Because I do play the game differently than other people do. Like at the gas, I'm kind of glad that I can't, with the gas in sort of way, kind of way, because I don't have to. I know that I need it every now and then, so it's going to force me to go out, run the roads, and then I get to see some new stuff. Maybe find something new that I didn't know was there. What was that? Like, I've never seen this area right here. I mean, I've seen it. I just... Wait, is that the end game? Is that one of the end game areas I'm running towards? Yeah, it is. Yeah, me too. I would like the ability to PvP sometimes. I think they should invent like a PvP arena or something like that. Maybe I would try to. I'm not a big PvP fanatic, only because I don't want to pick on anybody, right? I don't want to abuse anybody. And that's not in my nature. Like I don't like bullies. I try to beat up bullies in real life. So to be one in a video game would go against my nature. But I think a little bit of PvP element. I actually liked Rust for that, because although I could play Rust PvE wise, as long as I stayed out of everybody's way, there was always a chance that I was going to get killed. The only problem with Rust is you lose everything that you got, and I think that's something that would destroy this game if you did that. You know, imagine being out trying to farm those crystals and you don't have that skill or acid or whatever. And you get all this acid and crystals. And on the way back, you get killed. And you spent 3-4 hours farming. It's gonna destroy you as a video gamer. You're gonna be like, I don't even want to do it anymore. It doesn't make no sense. Like, why go out if every time I go out I get killed? Especially if you're not really good at PvP or your aim sucks or something like that. You're gonna hate this game if it goes PvP. You'll hate it. And I'm telling you, I probably haven't even explored in CBT2. I think I explored every corner of the map that I could. In this, I haven't even done that. I haven't even tried to. Let me go this way. Yeah, I'll go up. There's more cars. Yeah, Rust is a rough game, and it's definitely not newbie friendly, and it is definitely a harassment game. You don't play Rust if you just want to play PvE. Do not play Rust, or strictly go on a PvE server that doesn't allow you to kill each other, and you can do that. But that game is real boring when that's the only thing you have, because they're NPCs. Like my server, I had a PvE server, right? So my server had zombies on it that would roam around the map, and you would have zombies at all the locations, so you had to fight in order to loot and stuff like that. So it had a PvE aspect, but the zombies are dumb as dirt in that game, and they really are. And it's not really hard to kill them, so it's kind of like, yeah, you get a little bit of, and plus I put some PvP or PvE mods on, so that people can do events in the game. This just has all of that already. That's why I really like it. And then it has the building that I like, the decorations that I like. I like how they set up their graphics. Rust has decent graphics too, but this, with the roads and the cars and how they get the trash piles, Rust is a little generic, like real basic on some of their things. And you can't loot, technically you can't loot any of the vehicles in Rust unless you have a mod that allows you to. Here you can loot the vehicles, so there's a reason, you know, to have cars out here. But I do like Rust. I still watch my Rust streamers all the time, because I do like the game. It's just not for me anymore. I ran 3 Rust servers for years, and I just started not having fun in the game after a certain point. Right, I'm coming up on an event in this game. I don't see a lot of people doing these events. I got a farm, so I'm probably not going to run into that just yet. To other people, this has got to be the most boring thing in the world, but to me, I enjoy the shit out of it. Because I'm not doing it for any other item but that petroleum. That's it. Every time I see a car, I get excited. I'm like, I gotta go loot it, gotta go loot it, gotta go loot it. It's like, why are you getting excited over the car? Because it's loot. It's free loot. You don't have to work for it. Just loot it. This guy. Right, so I'm just reading what they wrote. So Kitsune is saying, if your char's power to come out is below 80, you won't get the 32% bonus in your crafting anymore. Didn't know that. That seems weird. So look at that. Look at this. This is really nice. Nice little quiet area right here. Got that kind of like inlay over there. Be great for like a little base build away from everybody, so you didn't have to worry about no one. Got a nice little road to run. They started adding birds to the game too. I seen a couple crows flying. They're taking off and flying, but I don't know. I know when I killed them, you can kill the crows. They just stay there though.
Don't forget to take out your trash cans.
Is that? I think that's my echo reminding me to take out my trash, which I already did, so I don't have to. Turns my lights on and tells me, hey, take out your trash, you lazy ass. Oh, I know right where I'm at. I build over that way, right over there. You can do everything over here because you got a little oil field over here, or a little like oil section where you can draw petroleum from, do your water, everything. Like my base would be perfect over there. I don't want to move it now because I don't know if things will break, and I don't feel like fixing everything. But during the next thing, I'm definitely moving back over there and staying over there. Look at them. They changed the aggro on the mobs too. They aggro a lot further away than they used to. I did send a message to the devs telling them that they effectively have destroyed stealth gameplay in this, right? Because they increased the aggro. And what is the purpose of using a silencer if I'm over here and I shoot somebody and it aggroes everybody? Like there's no purpose in me having a silencer then at that point, except for extending my range. Hopefully they fix that and make stealth gameplay a little bit more relevant. But they also changed the behavior of the AI and they made it a lot more aware. Boy, talking about Jaws. Yeah, yo, yeah, you. That's fun. I just read what you wrote. Me too. Me too. I ain't even gonna lie. Start getting sleepy when you're running for fuel. That's funny. I know they're going to have different zones. I know there's going to be a snow biome as far as I know. And there's probably going to be another biome. I don't know. Maybe a... I don't have a clue what it'll be, but... As soon as you hit this tree section, you get all that wind blowing. Anyway. Again, we're only playing on a third of the map. I think even a quarter of the map. I look at it and I go, this is a pretty big section, but I think there might be 3 more quarters there. I say a 2/3 just to, give a low ball estimate. But it's 2/3 of a map, and if the map is this big, with just a third of the map, because this is a big area to run through, then with those other 2 areas, man, just imagine the gameplay area we're gonna have. This map's gonna be massive. But you'll see me playing like almost all my videos. I barely ride my motorcycle at all. I don't ride my motorcycle that much because I'm always hunting for fuel, and I don't want to have to ride my motorcycle, 100 feet, stop, get out, loot, get back on my bike. I'd rather just run it. Maybe I'll run across something. That's how I feel. And these damn bunny rabbits sound like a herd of elephant running by. That's crazy. Yeah, Void's talking about switching mods out. He had to get lucky. He got real lucky to pull Jaws from the machine. Because he pulled a couple different guns from the machine. But then again, he participated in almost all the Primal Wars, so he had a lot of currency to pull. I didn't participate. On this server, I didn't participate in a lot of the... Is this a... What is that? Yeah, there's really nothing here, I don't think. Just some mobs, but nothing real spectacular. I'm done road running. I gotta get something to eat anyway. I'm starting to get low energy. Low energy. Need my energy. I don't regret coming out to the salt flats because of all the, the open areas, so you can build your base pretty decent. I regret coming out to the salt flats before I finish the game. Because there's way better places that you can build where you get a lot more benefits than coming out here. Like with the oil, I could have got more oil. I could have been running that. Even though it's slow as molasses running uphill, I still could have got something out of it by now. Get me back to my base. Let's see how much I got out of this. What I get? Tungsten. I got that. 84 platinum crystals. Bruh. That's... Come on. That's crazy. I've never had 84 crystals on me at one time. It's always something like 30 or whatever. Never had 84. Never. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Whole nother level. Why are they different? Oh, because they're made. Really? 150? Yeah, I never had that many on me. I don't know why. I mean, I guess I was always like repairing my armor when I really didn't need to and just using too many of them. But I definitely like it. Shit, that's a nice little bump. I mean, you don't have to worry about them crystals no more. Just about everything is nice when you ain't got to worry about it no more, I should say. And it really just used 150 stardust. And I'm crafting, what, 950 right now? When I went out and run. So it's like a never-ending thing that you can do in this. I mean, if you switch, like if I was to switch around a build and get all new stuff, just to, fit a build, I would have to go through all the, that again. But I think at a certain point, you wouldn't have to worry about anything. You'd just be able to upgrade everything with ease. Yeah, I never got near 150. I don't think I was. I know I was never over 80. No, I know I wasn't, because I'm always going out to. Part of my problem though too is that I jumped levels of armor, so I jumped from. I wore my level 1 armor. I shit you not, until I was like level 40, and then I jumped into level 4 armor immediately. Because I didn't have enough crystals, platinum crystals for the level 5 or something like that, and then I just wound up getting the level 5 and upgrading everything. But I didn't wear. I might have picked up a piece of like level 3 armor and put it on, but I never crafted level 3 armor at all. Oh, he's using what? Baby jaws. He's not using the SMG jaws. That's different. He's using that baby jaws. Eh. Kit's doing the masters. That's a low crit. He doesn't have the mods or anything like that for it, so that's very low. That crit's nothing. I crit for way more than that on my other character. Yeah, he's not built right for the bomber. He should be critting well over that. That's a very low crit. Unless that's what they nerfed it to. They might have nerfed it to that, and then it's a decent crit. Alright, well, I'm going to get something to eat anyway, so I'm going to be getting off. And hopefully you'll be on tomorrow, so you want them crystals made, I'll make them crystals up for you right away. Just let me know. Again, for everyone that was watching, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Have a good night, and be safe, and hopefully I will see you. Shouldn't say see you, but we'll stream tomorrow for you guys. Alright. Hasta luego.